No.
well. We'll figure it out as we go. Oh, can you? Oh, I remember. Can you send me a link of you? Because I actually have not seen the list.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I know we were testing together, and then like I just never saw your final.
Yeah, I'll just send it to you like via Discord.
Yeah, just do that, so I can go over it when we go over it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll let you start talking about this.
Yeah. And we are live. Give me a quick moment to adjust the cameras. There we go. We are live. Ha! It was on the quick pause, editing things, doing stuff, quick things. Hello, everyone. This is H Drive. Also, Robert, if you ever look me up. This is also with our friend and 13th place winner, Ryan Kwan, also known as CPXZX on the internets. Hello. Ah, of course, no. Well, I think it's both our first times on to the North American WIXOSS tournament, as well as just like the Colorado play group, yeah.
Not even Colorado. It's like outside of 4 people. This is the first time we played against other people.
It's true, yeah, for sure.
Like, it's kind of crazy thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, first impressions on this was like, this definitely reminds me of the good old like grind days of like card games. I was like, oh, please.
Yeah, this reminded me of Bushy Road remote fight or Rumble Online a lot.
Oh, does it? I've no, okay.
It felt pretty similar, I'm gonna say. Nothing super like it's pretty much at this point what I would consider a par for the course, like as far as the anticipations and feelings going into like a remote tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's well, this is my first like remote fight tournament, and then this is also yeah. This is my first remote fight tournament, so if I were to do Bushiroad, I could just do that as well. And then this is also a little bit different because this is our we definitely won't be. I think if we are going to do it for Bushiroad, I think just like an after talk would just be fine.
Even that, we'll look through the resources, see if we're allowed to like actually use the footage for content or not. If we can't, cool.
Yeah.
If we can't, then like there's not much we can do about it.
It's okay.
We'll actually have more people probably during that talk.
Yeah, I would do like an
my team into joining,
yeah.
Discussion.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would just do like a like an after talk, like think of it like an after talk like podcast and like review thing for it.
Oh, exactly. Like that seems better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that. But yeah, if anyone doesn't know, we all play card games over here in the state of Colorado. Surprisingly.
Enough, Magic is not the only card game.
Yes, surprisingly.
Like, I know it's hard to believe and admit it, but like the scene is depressingly small and it sucks. Magic is just overwhelmingly large in Colorado. Flesh and Blood is like made an impact because it's Magic 2.0.
Yeah.
Pokemon had a huge scene before COVID, actually.
I think it's slowly recovering it.
Was like a functional scene, not really. I don't. So a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh scene I know is further like.
It's probably more a little bit in like Arvada and like Aurora section.
Definitely Aurora.
Yeah.
Is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And I can't give a like, but with that it's like I can't accurately describe a scene I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I did watch the Pokemon scene from like, and I have actively watched the Pokemon scene, but like I can't attest to the Yu-Gi-Oh scene. Obviously, the Flesh and Blood scene, like I know people you can make an argument for being pro players for, and I've like talked to them about it. It's like the scene's like probably as big as Force Will was in its prime.
That makes
over
sense.
Here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And I think that probably makes sense.
yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Like card fight is like there's 2 centralized locations, but
Mm.
again, like we're very small.
Mm.
Rice is like a starting community, and
Yeah.
WIXOSS, to be honest, like to our knowledge, is like the 4 of us at like.
It's just everyone just like playing locally, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty much that.
Everyone is like 4 of us at locals.
But
It's moving, so it's like it's gonna be a 3-person like
yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely like for sure it's going to be different. We definitely entered this game with a different mindset compared to everyone else. And you'll definitely see with our deck lists. But first we'll do some math.
I think so. I think we actually
Oh no, we went in with like the proper mindset and to build into that mindset. But I think untraditional.
Correct mindset, but everyone else went in with the exact same mindset.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
difference is we built our decks better.
Oh yeah. We definitely have done things a little bit different.
Like we
Yeah.
half expected like what happened to happen, so we built our decks accordingly.
Yeah.
So you'll
So
see that when we start talking about our decks.
yeah. So let's go to a quick breakdown. Made some pie charts immediately. So
So I haven't seen some of these actually, so
that is a-okay. I also gotta bring up the side one. Ooh. So, just to break down some numbers and everything else. First one is the number of decks in top 16 that was there. I believe if I did it right. Yep. So there is a total of 11 no limit decks. There is a total of 4 card jockeys, 1 Uchi no Hajimari, and 0 diagram.
Yeah, diagram does not feel like a good spot right now.
I think diagram is a fine thing to be in, but I think it's like you have like with any like mid-range deck or that you have to figure out what to bring into that meta. Right now, yeah, I would not have brought in. I wouldn't have brought in like Musica. I would have not burned down Sangha.
So something of actually to know.
I would bring
That
them.
Uchiha deck is not the Uchiha no
Yeah.
say that name.
I gotcha.
Can you get into a little bit more
yeah.
specifics with those charts?
I have another one, so I have that.
Okay, 'cause
So
I have the other breakdown.
yeah,
just don't know if you
I have the other breakdown. The breakdown of what deck types are which. So there are a total of 7 Hirana centered decks. There is also a total of 3 Ray centered decks, 1 Akino centered deck, which surprised me. 4 Lion main center decks and 1 Tamagoro main Elric decks. So surprisingly, there is a lot of diversity in like even though Hirana was the main dominant one, there was a lot of diversity between like the 3 no limit decks, outlying the Akino one, but
the Akino one though placed higher than all the rest.
it did because I think like what I said with
Placed,
I think it played
third highest.
I think it plays 5th.
It placed like 4th or 5th,
Yeah,
think.
I believe it was 4th or
The
5th.
guy was like he had like props to him. He had to be a good pilot.
Yeah, so like white decks are like so the thing is that I played a lot of white decks, and then there's because with a lot of white decks they're just a very like functioning flow decks that have like really strong engines, so you can pretty much be any kind of those decks, and then you'll just be like very free throwing with it. That's why like Akino like it surprises people, but it also has the ability to like wall up really efficiently as well. Because I did that with my Akino deck as well.
Rag on Aki because she is a Larig with a once per game. Didn't know it. And in my opinion, no real other skill. I don't like I personally dislike Akino, so I've completely ruled her out. I have to admit, I am very much surprised to see it.
Yeah.
Props to the guy.
Yeah, props to that guy as well for piloting that deck pretty well.
Yeah, what's his name? We can pull it up.
I believe it's Tony Tran because I made the joke with my brother recently about it. Because it was because my
You're right, it is Tony Tran.
Yeah.
Got there, and he used. Okay.
yeah, like it.
This is not us going into
Yeah, the breakdowns into that for sure. But we will doing our deck breakdowns. We'll go up with Ryan's deck first.
Oh no. Oh no.
So it is the deck name called I Hope This Works, and it definitely did.
Apparently.
We'll expand this a little bit
Again,
better.
This is our first real. So we went into I think we should explain something about the top 16 real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've been thinking about it for a little bit, and well, like it's the same thing. We went in under the mindset of beat Nova. Nova, I think, is still like even now considered the best deck in the format because it just wins against a lot of things, and it's just arguably one of the best decks. It was Japan's strongest deck in this format. So what happened? Why are there 0 Novas? The answer is simple.
Yeah.
Everybody went in with
the exact same mindset we did.
And it's how to beat Nova. I'm not fully sure on the answer of Piranha, but like I'll kind of like explain my process. So everyone went in with the process of how to beat Nova. Like how our third friend Tyler, he's at work. Fortunately, can't be here. We told him to take Wolf because Wolf was just such an out of the woods deck, but it favored very well into Nova. So we opted to have him take it, and I thought it favored decently well into the other Uchiu decks, like which is what Bang and Yamago. I thought it favored actually decently into those, so I was like, I was covering his bases.
Yeah.
And then he just got completely shattered, like in some tournament. So wrong meta call there, but so going to what me and Bob did.
So we'll go.
I built our decks with a very specific mindset.
Yeah.
Which was again, it was beat Nova, and again, the rest of the format also said to beat Nova. So what happened? Everybody, no one was playing Nova. The decks that were playing Nova got shat on because everyone was taking anti-Nova decks. So what happens here? In this situation, we look at the other 2 best decks in the format. And I will highlight what I think is arguably the second. It's tied because it's No Limit. No Limit is the second or third best deck. Arguably, like Piranha. So Piranha just wins into all of them, right?
Yeah.
All this anti-Nova meta. Piranha just wins. So what happened? Piranha won. Like pretty black and white. Ray. So and now we start going into Ray.
Yep. So
I actually got into WIXOSS because I wanted to build Ray because I loved her design from the get-go. Out of like all the options I had, and I still love her design now. Like, would I try to find a way to play this deck again? Yeah, 100%. Is it gonna work? Probably not. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad I got the top with it. Like I got something to memorialize like probably what's going to be my favorite deck in this game ever. So Ray actually has, in my opinion, a comically bad matchup into Piranha.
I wouldn't be like as surprised with that.
It also has a comically good matchup into Nova, to the point where I actually ignored the Nova matchup and built my deck
to Taylor's.
Fight every other deck in the format because I just comically wanted the Nova. So I'm running a lot of the same pieces, like that other Nova decks ran, and even like kind of the same core, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But overall, like you'll notice, like where my deviances are.
Yeah.
They're designed for one specific purpose. And if you want to bring it to the next photo, Bob.
Yep, I got you.
Cool.
So next we have the main deck.
The purpose was, how do I not die to Harada?
Yeah.
Because as long as I don't die to Harada, everything else just kind of worked.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
And that is the purpose of Code Maze, whose name is escaping me right now. I'll figure it out in a second.
It's okay. It's Primavera, I believe. Yeah.
The reason I ran those 2 were specifically for that exact one purpose. The Sharon is in the deck because I wanted another Regulus-esque effect on turn 1. I'll be real with you. Like, the initial inspiration for this deck was the last ceremony's 6th place Ray winner. Ray list.
Ray
I
list.
remember the guy's name. Shout out to you. You were honestly the inspiration on my build.
Yeah.
Because I looked at your initial build and your initial concepts. I loved them. I took them, and then I hard tweaked them.
Yeah. A lot of main things that are different than most hero lists, and then even than most Nova lists is we both play Haniels. It is the white Signy that says on place you pay a colorless. You look at the top 3 cards, add a level 2 or less Signy to your hand, and then put the rest of the bottom in any order. It also has a break scale with look at the top 3, play it onto board or add to hand. So, I will go into that concept there. This card is surprisingly really strong. People are not looking into it outside of card jockey decks because it's filtering in that sense. But ideally, when you think about it in the sense of like Magic the Gathering terms, there is a card called Squadron Hawk. Squadron Hawk is a Magic card that says on play you can add up to 3 copies of a card named Squadron Hawk. So, what ideally Heniel is first of all it's a subcycler. You play it down, you cycle it in or out. You grab a card. It's a 1-for-1 on board. It also provides you a body. Sure, it's more vulnerable to like removal spells on like 1 or 2, but ideally it has played its role. It basically thins out your deck, even by like a minuscule step, but it allows you to set up stacks. So, why are stacks important? Coming from the local OTT player that has played Tsukiyomi, so has Ryan as well. Memorizing stacks are easy. You just gotta know how to make key features and lay it on top, as well as breaking things down. There is an additional form of like math into it, but that's a little bit more complicated to explain. Oh yeah, yeah.
First is we're playing with significantly smaller decks with higher numbers. We're playing with Yu-Gi-Oh! We're playing with Force of Will level consistency. So in reality, checking 3 even on a whiff means you know 3 cards the top X cards of your deck can't be, which creates a huge amount of advantage because you will know the cards you draw into. You will reach your stack faster. And in WIXOSS specifically, the breaks. Breaking is a huge part of the game, and when we were talking about it going into like the beginning of the ceremony, we were I'm under the impression that players at the top, and so this is what I started learning to do, should be able by turn 4 to, I would say, I had like about an 80% accuracy on reading breaks in both of our decks.
I think so, yeah.
Mine and my opponents. It's a lot harder on the opponent because you don't know what the fuck they're playing. But like in reality, I statistically knew what was in my break without seeing it, just based on seeing the first 15 cards of my deck. Because you can at that point make accurate predictions based on what you haven't seen. In reality, on turn 4, I've gone through 20-25 cards of my deck.
Yeah.
And you've gone through a couple breaks already. Like you should have an idea what you're gonna break.
Yeah, and that's like the thing with Haniel. It lets you, instead of going on, I think most people will inherently know that like math by like turn 4. I think turn 4 you'll start seeing that math there. I think with Haniel you kick in on like at least turn 2, turn 3, depending on how many things.
The process of knowing how you have to play around your breaks, which is a concept I think.
I think yeah.
Concept, and it proved incredibly favorable for me, obviously. Like for me, it proved incredibly. Was it fruit twist?
Favorist. Yeah, favorist towards you. Yeah.
Yeah, like because it happened, and I was able to accurately read every. I was able to, I'd say about 90% accuracy on my breaks on what was in there, and when they were flipping, and it did come up.
It did matter, yeah.
Let situations occur because I knew I was going to flip break, or at least I had a strong percentage of hitting a break. And I thought it was it.
Yeah, and then this list.
You'll see that when we go into like
gameplay and all that fun
You'll
stuff.
see that like I do like sit down and I think, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hit a break within the next 2 checks. Or I'm pretty sure one of the top 2 cards of my deck has a break.
Yep.
Or my lyric deck, or of my cloth is a break that stops my opponent from killing me.
Yeah.
So, and you'll see me play for that.
Yeah. And then we'll go into that at that point.
Again, props to the 6th place of the last ceremony, I think the May ceremony. Again, he was the inspiration behind the way I built the list. I did obviously make a notable number of changes. Folklore, Folklore shuts down a lot of things.
Folklore does shut out a lot of things. I think it just depends on like which kind of strategy you're going for.
Breaks, reduced the number of draws in my deck, which was risky, and it almost came up in one situation.
But I think that's a work hazard you come up with.
No, even then, as the player, I made the mistake because I had a way to get out of the situation and actively chose a different route during the last turn, during a break. I believe it was a flip the Henio break, and I saw exactly the cards I needed to meet conditions for Ray, and then I just, because I had a different rhyme I thought of. I lost that game anyway. It doesn't matter. Also
Yeah.
ended on a 5-2 record. Should make that
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, yeah.
I think if we played out top 16, I might have.
You definitely would hit a top 8.
I probably would have hit top 8. I don't think. Also, if we had played it out, you know, probably wouldn't be as mad about the.
Oh yeah, the big standings, controversy.
But like, we'll go into.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it probably after the deck explanation.
Yeah.
And then just kind of going card by card, it's like. It seems pretty self-explanatory. I opted for End of the Turn, Song of WIXOSS, because End of the Turn read.
Stop. I think it usually reads.
Random drain, and we found when I was testing it the Nova that if they random drained me turn 1, I actually had a 40% less chance of winning the game. That's a huge percentage drop. So I said, okay, fuck that, End of the Turn. And then if you have the second one, that 40% instead becomes a 20%.
Yeah.
Which still, like, theoretically only gives them a 30% chance of winning the game. But like, it came up. That piece came up literally every game I played. Like the salvage effect came up, the negate spell effect came up. Like every game I played, this card had a function.
Yeah,
it's literally my MVP.
It's very strong card.
And Glory Grow is just Glory Grow. It's the reason you play Nolan. It's so fucking good. It's
very strong. Having that finisher effect is very strong.
Obviously, my lines in my deck where 1 second.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, we'll go over like a general play style of how Ray plays. Ray is basically a tempo deck. You can be a little bit more aggressive with it. You can be a little bit defensive, depending on how you want to build it. It will always be at least clear 3 rows. 2 to 3 rows for sure. With the amount of removal into the deck as well. And like that. And then your Elrig also comes with like really strong removal into putting a card, the level 2 or less to the bottom. It will be really strong to clean up as well.
Completely unexpected. I have to step out for a second.
No, you're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So, we'll go into that. Like Larry said, we have built it towards like not to fight against Nova, but against like other decks. Because I think as his partner, we did see a lot of those cards to go away. Primavera is definitely like a really strong card. It's very underlooked, just because it's freezing on both of your opponent's turn and when it's like banished as well. It's really good against the no limit mirror matches, especially with Hirana, where most of its removals and vanish. Got to bring up the deck list in the weird things. Here we are. Here we go. There is actually 2 copies of Deafening Inferno in here, and one Shocking Blue. The one Shocking Blue did do work. It didn't hinder the pieces to it, but it's definitely, I think Ryan said that the 1 copy was enough. Sometimes he didn't need any more of the copies if he did. I'll scoot that up real quick, and then that's all good from there. And then also with the work hazard coming in, there is like copies of Gagriel and the Blue Angel, and then also Persephone, whatever it is called, the Aqua Beast. They're the on-enter, draw, and discard one. He did cut those down by 1, so there are 6 copies in total. But I think surprisingly, when we did the math of it, you can run away with that. There's a lot of 3-ofs in the deck, maybe a little couple of 4-ofs. But 4-ofs is definitely something that like you want to see in that opening setup. Is how we broke down the math for it. And then we can always like safely like mulligan away, and you'll definitely see. Especially with 4 of a copy inside of a 40 card deck is definitely pretty annoying as well. And then of course we are monsters. We play different colored pieces. I believe we also had it all foil as well. So Ryan's deck was on the bling side. Pretty dope, as well as doing such as that. besides going on to my deck list, how's everybody doing in chat? Or in any YouTube videos? This will also get reposted onto YouTube's. So it'll be very fun to see that. How you all doing? Let me know in the comments below. Alright. So, turning this off real quick. Oh, maybe. My mouse is also weird. We'll go over my deck list. It is a god. It is called Nova the Rock Skyfeather. It is just a pun on to Dwayne the Johnson. On Nova is a really strong mid-range deck. Control, which allows you to do setups. So at first it looks like a typical one. I do play a different Bang level 2. It is called Solo. So what Solo does is that on place you give a unit Lancer, and then for a generic white, generic mana, you can pay it. If you do, your opponent's center section gains. Your opponent gains the ability they can attack with their center Signy. So it shuts down a lane. It's a soft lock until the end of your opponent's turn for sure. But the biggest thing about that list is that it's a grow cost of 0 as well, so it allows you to tempo out faster. It lets you grow into your Nova a lot more faster and consistently aim for it. It shuts down. It forces it down. It does it cleans your lane for one enter, which is in most Nova lists are very shy on enter. The capo actually does lose against a lot of Nova limit matchups, no matter how you would see it, because by creating too much aggression, you want to do the capo to null out as much damage as you can. And the capo is really good, but definitely against Ray. Ray, for example, it'll do nothing against it because they can wait you out. The longer Ray waits out, they win harder. Card Jockey beats you faster if they get their right pieces right. Even in the mirror match, there's a lot of double losses here and there, so it's definitely a lot more irritating. So I opted into Solo, a little bit more of an aggressive setup, but I think the aggression is what you do need in those matchups, and it has become more relevant in those matchups. You'll see in my games where I clear out a lot more damage consistently, and it does help out. And next up, whoop, that's not how that works. So next we'll go into the main deck.
I am super sorry. That was actually an incredibly important conversation that probably should have taken place 2 months ago. But
Life stuff happens.
Life. Did we finish, or we didn't fully finish going over my deck? I feel like, but oh well.
I mean, I would if you want to make any remarks on that, we can do that real quick.
It's more of again,
yeah.
Props to the guy who got 6th place in the last ceremony.
Yeah.
All I did was just tweak the deck in all reality. He gave me the shell to work with, and I kind of just went from there.
Yeah. And I think I did some small talks with it. I did say that Primavera is really helpful. There's a lot more aggression in your side grows, which I did not mention.
Again,
but I think that's definitely the whole thing.
A lot some of the choices were very much deny aggro for Hirana and force Hirana into lines that into suboptimal lines that gave me a chance to win the game.
Yeah, and then I was also mentioning on Nova matches that you always will clean up 2 lanes, so that will always.
Nova, so to explain, Nova didn't exist as a matchup for me. I always won the Nova matchup to the point where, in theory, I always won the Nova matchup to the point where I could build my deck with bricks in Nova. I think that's with a hard number of bricks in Nova and still actually succeed decently well, as long as I had a good enough core to work with. I think that's the whole reason. I think is you can't. I explain it a little more in detail, where it's when you're able to clean 2 lanes per turn with it, it makes the Nova deck have to work a lot more harder. Because Nova will always, against Ray, Nova will always have a lane open, because they will always have 2 3s and a 1 or a 2. And that's enough lanes to clean up with. Traditionally, 2 3s and a 2.
Yeah.
And if during their turn I pop a 3.
Yeah. And clean up.
During my turn, I clean up the 2.
Yeah.
That is 2 damage that cannot be stopped.
Yep. And
plus,
because they
denies them. their strongest part of their deck, which is their I draw PGM.
Yeah, and that's why like it's by creating 2 lanes every turn, Nova loses on that clock. And then Hirana is just a fast beating deck that will try to clear as much as we can.
Theoretically actually gets by Nova. That was what we discovered in testing. If a player plays it correctly, and it is a little bit sketchy, admittedly, but they should have a clean. But it's pretty hard favored.
Into Nova.
Hirana. So Hirana was being beat down by Nova, but with Nova basically no longer existing because everyone took anti-Nova, Hirana just shat on everything.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it performed so well.
For sure it has, and I think that would make sense. Back to my list.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Just a small recap onto you, Ryan. I did say that I went for a much more aggressive lineup in mine with Bang Solo. I already explained her effects. So basically, the whole point of the aggressive lineup is how do I? So it breaks down to like how do I beat the mirror match? What was the answer to the mirror match? It was like a little bit more aggression into that section. So Solo has done that by shutting down A. So instead of reducing damage.
Folklore. I actually didn't know you didn't run Folklore.
What was Folklore again?
My break.
Oh no. So I debated if I wanted to play that one or not. I chose not to play that one in case of like the very like if I were to fight against Tyler. that was the thing I chose to fight against. So I did that. Bang Cell is really good. Biggest thing is that shutting down that like A column to not attack is very annoying because a lot of cards have like on attack triggers. So, like, Gagriel, for example, has an on-attack trigger. Rose Quartz has an on-attack trigger. There's a lot of cards that need an attack. So it forces them to, A, clear the board in order for them to get their full value onto it, or B, play, like, a dude in the center. And then I also, once again, on that grade 3 grow, I clean up 3. I ideally do clean up, like, two lanes. And that's like, oh, so I'm also fighting against this. It's like, I guess I have to force it. I also don't get stalled with, like, the combo. Sure, the combo's really strong, but having that, like, that tempo aggro push helps out a lot. I think so.
The capo play, we were talking... It's... a skilled Lurig for center for an extended period of time. And Bob, as a player, that's not you. But...
Yeah.
Like, even then, it was... But you also just lose too much at that point.
Yeah, like you're losing too much progression. Like it's good and yeah.
You are forced into holding the capo
for glory grow primarily. It's primarily glory grow.
And then all to do is
just wait it out.
Like
legit, it's
dry lane and then
yeah, we're gonna do dry lane. You have to force because you have like all right, I have to force it onto that or force it onto a tri lane. Like really good competent players will be like, all right, I'll just clear out your board, and it's like, yep, they'll do it. So I have to proc it now. Because usually their typical grow would be onto Tamagoro into like Drumroll, or into Jet, and then they'll tap down and draw 2. And then I've always found that as like my last like grow if I ever do it, or my first grow, or my first grade 2 grow. So depending on like who goes first, who goes second, all that fun stuff.
End of the turn.
End of the turns, the staple ones. The one changes Bang Solo, and I definitely did like that as it's a player preference, but at the same time, I think it was a not the like most optimal call, but it's definitely the most like me-esque play for it. But I think it's definitely some people should consider it because shutting down A lane is honestly really really strong.
So what was your main deck like? I actually have never seen it.
Yeah, so main deck was, I believe this is pretty much it.
Because, like, it was different.
Yeah. So...
Okay, so the biggest changes of note are you're on 4 copies of Rocket Girl, whose real name I don't know. We're on the Henio, as we discussed.
Yep.
And, which I think is actually a little more standardized in, Nova, just because most
Nova decks don't play Haniels.
Oh, the lists I've seen run Haniel.
Really? Most standard lists don't play Haniels. They play the
Standard lists ran Haniel.
No.
Like, desperate to make sure they had a PG and 2 level 1.
No. So most standard lists play more wall bodies. So it gets them to force them to use their deafening
you're
critical.
not on the 7K wall.
No, I'm not on the 7K walls in this deck. So Heniel acts as that unit. So it forces them to be like, sure, you can waste your removal spell onto it. It dies to removal, but it does die to removal, but it lets you. I prioritize getting a servant guaranteed, because when I wasn't on like the big like Heniel like setup, I always like whenever you are slow onto that build up to get a consistent PG, having those PGs help out a lot.
And then let me ask. Let me just pull this up real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
You opted for the green 10K vanilla?
I opted for the green K vanilla. I opted for the green K vanilla because if you need to use Demir, you have that green enter as that access. So it gives you more cases of green. It's a little funkier on colors, but ideally you never needed blue except for like random drinks or anything like that. So you can be primarily a little bit more greedier onto like green and white.
7, 9. You had realistically 11 to 15, depending on if you count servant targets. Like,
yeah,
with your random drain. Okay.
Yeah, and that was like enough. Like you never wanted to do if you were to set up on random drain, you will always mull away like because you'll naturally draw into like those like blue colors, and then also enter breaks. Sometimes when you open up on double random drain, you'll just keep double random drain just to charge one away. Because making them discard like once, even in those games in the early stages, really help out a lot. It compounds in the end when you do it. I play 2 Akupuku. Akupuku is for those like very strong aggressive matchups. Because you'll see at one point in the game, it did matter a little bit. It gave me an extra turn, basically. I still lost that game. Surprise, but it helped out a lot. Also, having a green unit helped trigger like other things. Having a 10K made like a little bit more difference because you punch a little bit harder on level 2.
Does change the initial ways your lines look when going for the Demir.
Yeah, because you can always charge away your Akafukus that are green for your Demiurge, and then you can not bank on like dual enter. It also
random issues in testing, I guess, where you didn't have access
to like the
lower green.
green.
I don't think anyone we never actually saw each other's final builds.
So. I think I like explained it in like detail, but I was doing that. I also played through Royal Blue because I think sure it has a really strong break effect, but when you pair it up with Fenrir, it lets you like clear up lanes. So clearing up lanes is also like very relevant.
The Royal Blue is the interesting tech here.
Yeah, most Nova decks don't play it, so it's pretty much like it's strong against like. It's not strong against like Nova in like later games, but it's really strong against like certain like aggressive decks. It forces them to like not attack with the Elric, and that gives you like an extra like PG in your hand, or it gives you like an extra like damage to work with. So it's really strong, I would say. Like it's definitely something I was considering playing it, but I didn't play 4 of it. Now why would I say not 4 of this card? So you don't want to consistently see if you were to see 4 of this card in your deck, that's bad. That's like, the scenarios when you see like 4 copies of Royal Blue in your deck means that like your life cloth is not the greatest life cloth to play with, and that happens a lot. I played around with 4, and then it'll be like, okay, cool. So sure, you'll see like double like Royal Blue in your life cloth, but like double break onto that is like not the greatest. So like by minimizing it to like a necessary like number, you're allowed to play with a lot more like breaks. So that's why Akafuku is there. Potentially this would have been like your break, Ryan, traditionally, but this one I feel like it's a way more like stronger against like no limit decks. Hirana in particular. Yeah. And it does help against that Hirana matchup. Akafuku also helps out in like that really wide board scenario, because it prevents like your life clock being crushed by like Signes, and it's very strong. So I definitely enjoyed that. If I were to make an edit onto this build, I might cut Rocket Girl down from 4 copies to 3, and might put it somewhere else. I don't know where, but definitely not in the grade 3 slot. It's already some level 3 slot. It's already so much that you're playing into it. Sure, you can.
You're on 11.
I'm on 11. I'm actually like really tight on like I just live by
13 are the standard number.
13 is the standard number, but I think I wanted to prioritize a lower curve against like the really hard aggro decks, because
this format feels fast.
Yeah.
Just in general, these games feel fast. So I feel like I value seeing those level 2s and level 1s more than I value seeing
a level 3 or something like that.
Yeah, because you always, just in theory, you go through.
You go through about 15 cards.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You go through 11 cards in what is realistically a 33 card deck.
Yeah.
You will see a third of your deck, statistically speaking. At 11, you're fine, and at like lower numbers, you're also just kind of fine.
Oh, I guess we should explain what Rocket Girl is. Rocket Girl is a unit that says on place you may pay a colorless. If you do, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add a level 1 to your hand. It doesn't have to say without G, so you can always add your PGs in there. It adds your hand heals. It adds your multicolor in there, which is way more relevant than I would have to admit. It also allows me to grab the gentleman for like, or whatever her name is, the Shadow Girl. I don't want to look up names today because it's a casual thing. 4 each species. I think the numbers of handles to the grade 2 is you can vary between those depending on lists. If you want more ones, you can play more handles or more Ishkis. I think 7's perfectly fine. You don't want more than 7. I think it just jams up the deck a little bit more because you're playing more into like a search deck than you were to do anything else. So even that, I'm on 3 Fenrir, surprisingly. Fenrir I found was Fenrir start to build up in my deck. So like Fenrirs will like block each other up, and placing like double Fenrir is like good in the long run. But you also have to remember that, like, in the long run, you are losing at that point because you don't have your way to like clear out caps, and then especially when we were going to the tournament, we heard there were double losses. Having like same damage is like there's no point. There's no way you want to like in order to kill.
Still don't even fully know how double losses ported. Is it at the end of?
Yeah.
Both players are at equal life cost.
I don't know if it's still that or
is it dead?
Yeah, I don't remember if it's still on like because we used to have that in Vanguard, because we used to have like a player must die, like it was like early Vanguard, like early Vanguard.
It might have been it can't be before I have played.
I think it was like just in like the start of G. I think it was in the start of G.
Oh yeah, I remember this controversy now.
Yeah, because it was roughly the start of G set 5-ish. We started getting those things, and then they changed it at like what, like end start of G. What was it? What was the last set for G?
G14.
What was the block of? What was the last?
It was the dose that and Repros that changed the format rules.
Yeah.
Because I do. Well, no. It happened before then because I know when I was starting to pick up Angel Feathers, the rule for Angel, like the rules were, sudden death on heal. So if I healed one, I won.
Yeah, because it used to be I know for sure it was like you had to make a confirmed kill, and then some stores like just be like, all right, they're just a draw, and because I asked, because this was like back in Limit Break era.
So it had to be
Yeah.
It had to be super early.
It had to be super early.
Part of the competitive scene.
Yeah, because it would have just been just around the start of. Step 5.
But it would have been
Yeah,
during,
it should have changed like just after G, like the start of G, maybe mid G.
The damage rules were in place when we first played ARG.
Oh yeah. And that was like,
because that was my first competitive event.
yeah, that one was. And then this would have been not. This would have been the shops ARG. I think it was the one before.
It was like whatever that one card shop was called in the Springs. It was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
original like one that was hosting it too.
Oh yeah.
Not the one that they currently use.
Mm. But yeah, but double losses were real, so I wanted to play around not having the double loss. So more stall cards mean it's bad. Like in a traditional deck, it'd be great. I think in traditional decks, it's great. It's also a blue card, so it gives you that blue color access, and then all that stuff. I also am not playing more Demiurges because I think Demiurges loses itself in the mirror match. Because
didn't like how it felt like it bricked you in the long run.
yeah, so like in the long run, like it's just like you will run out of like colors as Nova. As Nova, you will definitely run out of like colors. That's why like my deck is surprising because I was like really digging for colors when I was playing with Demiurge. So it wasn't like the color for enter, it was the color for board because traditionally you'll play Demiurge in Sangha. Sangha has like a card that says when you place it, you can choose a color and it can be that color. You can do it in multicolor. You can play in this deck, but it requires eating breaks, and eating breaks in this deck is very tight. And it's also green on the default, so it's actually non-synergistic with Nova, because you want to keep it like close to like about 50% of the deck to be white. So, but yeah, Demiurge is more of a tech. I think it was if I was playing in like the super long call, Fenders and Royal Ices will do just fine. And then discard is a little bit more proactive of a Nova deck, but I definitely like this more proactive build. I think it was because I was building. It reminded me more of a like that mono red Hirana, the mono red Akino deck that I played against like a lot of you guys with. But instead of like,
Oh god, mono
yeah,
red Akino.
yeah, mono, yeah.
Weird.
It was a weird deck, but it flowed because I just had like a really good like core package with it. And then all that. So it definitely played into that. Random Dream of the form, it's pretty good. You charge a Fenrir, it feels bad. You charge a Nice Blip, that's actually like fine. It's like a deck card anyways. Dual other level 1s played way more relevant than it did. With the access to like Rocket Girl and Hanyo. So
I severely underestimated the card's value.
yeah, I think initially because I did a little bit of research and I saw the value in it already. Dual colored is like, in this format, it's more relevant than like in any other format. I think in set 1, you can like run away with not playing it, just be like smart deck building. In this format, colors matter a lot because you have Kome, which is it needs white. You have Demiurge, it needs green. Ray needs blue. Lots of things that have a lot of like enter abilities need like a particular color. So. Yeah, instead of being on like, I think ideally most generic lists would be on 4 of the green, because I'm not playing as many Demiurges. I could split up the 2, so and they're charging that like the green, the blue, yellow, like one also helps out with like random drains, and that helped out a lot as well. So, and then in a couple games you'll see where like you see me like aggressively dig for like colors, the like set up Demiurges, grabbing the level 1 that is multicolored helped out a lot as well. Because it let me decide Demiurge lines a little bit more cleanly. So you'll see like my typical lineup is like a 3-3-1. So we'll go into that. Yeah. So my deck is also called Nova the Rock Skyfeather. It is a pun off of Dwayne the Rock Johnson and the Magic the Gathering deck The Rock. So cool fun facts and trivia.
Isn't the Rock even the same color, ironically?
No, the Rock is a green-black deck.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's green-black. It's green-black.
Actually.
Yeah, so the Nova, the Rock, Skyfeather. It plays very similar to that. Asband is also a color combination that goes in, which is red, green, black. Or, yeah, not red, green, black. Green, white.
Oh, yeah.
Green, white, black. Is also that as well.
Green, white. Oh, yeah, green, white, black.
Green, white, black is Abzan.
Yeah.
So before we get into gameplays, I think we looked into the meta and was like, all right, we gotta at least be able to beat Nova, beat a deck that can beat Nova. Not to like a 100% like win race between those two decks, but like if you can deal with Nova
The
and
meta,
this,
realistically,
you're pretty
the
much
thing
set.
about North America and like overall and like an English-based format is we are far more creative. I'm gonna again, we're alluding back to the Springfest circuit for Cardfight Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
The like just kind of for reference, at the beginning of the Springfest circuit, Order Colony was revealed as a deck that
No
a
one.
lot of people, not a lot of people like if you weren't like underground testing it or randomly saw the card combinations, you wouldn't really see it. Well, it took a lot of people by storm, including me. I did not know that deck existed. And then we looked into the pieces and we're like, oh, this is bugs, but you draw 3 cards every turn. Wait a second, you draw 3 cards every turn.
Yeah, it's a compounding value, which is like very rare in premium.
The thing is, that deck, no, it gave a deck with oppressive Wings Edition something it severely lacked, which was card value. And all of a sudden the deck has it, it became the best deck.
Yeah.
Now, let's fast forward a little bit to, I think it's Springfest Pittsburgh, or it's not Pittsburgh. It's like,
No, it's not Pittsburgh. There's nothing in.
like in that area.
I think it's something in the East Coast, but the general.
Bring it up. It's not like I know it's not New York, and I know it's not Cali. But like for reference, that Springfest, the top 2 decks in the format, or in Japan, in Europe. Let's take real quick, for example, the best decks in the format. Order Colony, Nightmare, hands down. They were, well, admittedly, it's that on the back of the same team, but also when you look at the top 4 ratings, 90%. I would say there's like 1 Springfest in Europe where every top 14 does not have the same 2 decks.
And that's, I think, in general.
Now let's go over to North American result. There was a Springfest where none of the decks were in there. None of the top 2 decks, or realistically speaking, none of the top 4 decks
we're all the same, yeah.
In the top 4.
Yeah.
All 4, and like they were just 12 lists of jank. I think maybe actually 1 Order Colony, but there was like 11 lists of jank. The whole format was like and every single one of those decks were really good into
Order Colony.
into Order Colonies. Like, if nothing else, it shows that like everyone was just building anti-Order Colony decks.
Yeah, and that's what we kind of like anticipated as
like,
well.
Serve okay into everything else.
Yeah, so
kind of what we fell into. I opted into Ray again because like it's just the deck I liked.
Yeah, and then
I also was like, I realistically felt like I had a 60-70% win rate into every deck not Piranha. And so I took it because I felt incredibly comfortable. Because as long as I avoided 1 specific deck, and even then, I built the deck to tech into the deck, so it wasn't even a, I'd say I feel like the matchup at the end of it, after my deck building, the Harana was still, like, favored Harana, but it went from, like, 90-10 to, like, I'd say...
70-30?
70-30?
Yeah, I'd say so that.
And, like, starting the game off on a 70-30 difference versus a 90-10 difference is
very different. Yeah.
Until you proceed to not drop PGs for the first 6 turns of the game.
Yeah.
Different story, though.
Different story. But we will go into a quick break so we can get that semi set up for some gameplays that we'll talk about in a setup. You'll see a little bit of optimization here and there for that. But we'll go on a quick break for that. And then here we are with that fella. Doot. You are muted on your end, except for me. There we go. Oh, is it just like... Oh, if I really want to. Well, I think, I mean, that too, but I think, Aiden might hit me up tomorrow night? No, like, Aiden will just hit me up, yeah. Okay.
Like, you should just be fine.
Yeah, it's so weird, like, seeing the things is, like, it's a little weird. We will, however, turn on the things. Boop. Give me, like, a quick moment to readjust stuff.
Do you need my camera on still?
Your face cam? Yeah, for your reactions.
Oh, yeah, for the way to get the setup.
Yeah. I mean, we can turn it off if you want to, but...
No, you're fine, I'm just curious.
Because, how else will we get your reactions when I do my things?
Alright.
Oh god, no, not that one. Professionalism. I was like, dang.
I think David's looking forward to you going there, though, so you should.
Alright, I probably should.
Yeah, just because they've also they have an idea, like, it'll be fun, dude.
I would, so, like, if we can't.
Going to for some reason.
I guess it's just because of, like, Vice. Okay, so I was...
He's probably just, like, there. Alright,
yeah.
I like how I'm completely and utterly off camera.
Oh, yeah, definitely, like... No, because I believe all of us are off camera. Especially mine as well.
I was, like, hard off camera.
Oh, like...
Hilarious.
Oh, were you? I was like...
Yeah, you had me hard off camera.
Yeah, well, the thing is that, like, it sucks because Discord, like, sets you, like, differently. Yeah, I was like, why is the live thing for Ryan first but not mine? God damn it. We will readjust it when I set up my thing and Sarah do all things, so we'll probably have to do that. On the layer note, here is Ryan's first gameplay. So all you... Yeah. I'll just mute your thing for your life, and yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I had to. I'm like in the process of doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is actual sound. God damn
it. Yeah. That's like the thing is that like it's like an actual.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's like super. It's literally nothing. I'll tell you afterwards. It's like.
Yeah. It's just like a name, email, and like payment.
You don't have to pay.
Oh, okay. It's just like a name and email.
It's
just like
name, email, phone number.
Yeah. But that was already like such a hassle. But like, why do I have to do this for our locals? It's like, I understand why they would do it, but God.
Small,
yeah.
Just
because I think
that community is actually decently large. So
yeah. Because I was thinking is like might do it later, but
we'll talk about that.
Yeah. But yeah. So.
All right, first round. So my first round is. You're not gonna hear audio because we're gonna be. I don't remember.
Oh.
So we're figuring out when the tournament begins. First, second card, fucking amazing. I'm mad that like people don't do them more often.
Yeah.
And I think so. I am, by the way, the player on left.
Yes.
So I will have the no game no life map, the red shirt. I will always have like the Rushia somewhere in text in view, and the pink slips.
Yeah.
Like just so you have context, so you'll see this like as far as you're looking for. If you're looking for me at least.
Yeah.
My opponent here, like we're just chatting, we're just chilling, we're figuring out when the game begins. Game is still not begin yet. Game is start. Oh, this is where we're confirming the game begins, I think?
I believe that was on confirmation.
Because...
Nope.
Oh my fuck.
Yeah, it was a long one, because I definitely remember, like, when I was doing it in game one, it was like... It was like 5 minutes.
Okay, so we begin.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Straight up like 10 minutes of the fucking
Yeah.
Yeah. So turn one, I think this is my actual, like, optimal standard turn one. Turn one, draw one, enter charge, get the Heniel, turn the one enter into a card. In this case, it turns into another Heniel. Ideally, you put, like, a 5k vanilla or, like, a regular Ekis and filter. But, like, in this case, my hate consisted of, like, I opened with like 2 Heniel and a PG, so like I just had things. So
yeah. Also, just a heads up.
This is also where we're confirming the rig sides, like location, so we can declare them through like each other's sides.
Yeah, like effects and all that. Just a heads up, this has been like a week ago, so we're not like on the clearest on memory, but like, I think after,
This way,
I think
then
so.
you're like, all right, so here's what I probably should have done.
Yeah,
And I do it, and then it's like, yeah, that worked.
that works. Yeah. So you are
Then you
playing
have,
against
like, I did
you are playing against a whatchamacallit, a lion deck.
Yes, I am playing against Light.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the one game I showed you to like, so we could test run our setups.
Yeah. So there's a lion deck, and then energy charging is on 2.
Also Heniel to build, because this felt like set 1 where Heniel was specifically for search the top 3 search your deck for level 1s and filter. Like Lion is known for Heniel because you're just thinning your deck.
Yeah, and I think it's like that's the pre-notion for Haniel is like it'll always play that.
Wait, he added another Heniel, correct?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I was like semi paying attention because I was like semi opening a pack of sleeves.
And then like the two of us are just kind of chatting. And messing around
Like,
during a lot of this.
yeah.
Like a lot of the community, like this community is chill as hell.
It's pretty chill.
I'm so happy, like we have such a chill ass community, right, for WIXOSS, and that's part of the reason I'm looking to play this as like my second or first competitive card game now.
Oh, not Vanguard?
Well, like Vanguard is first still, but like this will probably be my second competitive game.
I was about to say it's like,
and then Weiss is like, I'll always just sit on Weiss, and in theory, like I can be less casual about Weiss and be okay.
yeah, that's true. That is true. Also, I am off center on this monitor. Why did I do this?
Yes, you are.
Oh god. Why do you suck, Robert? Why do you suck?
Oh my god.
There we go. Let's.
Oh, wait a second. I remember now. I'm a video player. And then this is where we're confirming site location. Because he was like, yeah, I meant to call the Remio, obviously, like in the open zone. So we're just confirming locations of cards.
Yes.
So
just that real
his,
quick. Oh god.
Remiel, his red Signy is facing Akino, and like as we confirmed.
Yep.
Break Nobunaga, it's okay. He had double crush, so. And then I Heniel. And then I think I actually fail. I think there was like a bunch of level 2s and 3s here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was like 3 3s or something, so I went for like, no, it was 2 quartz and a deafening, and I was just pretending that like I had options.
There.
So like I had nothing here, but like playing against like a Love It level 1 or a Love It side, I kind of expected this, so this was all within expectation.
Yeah.
The Heniel low roll was annoying, but nothing I can do about it. And then I decided here to declare pit cost before I actually grew.
Yeah.
And then I'm debating if I just alter my side, or I go for my sides here. Or if I had inbuilt removal already. So I opted to bounce.
Yeah, because
realistically, I bounced, I think, Reniel, because I opted for... No, I bounced the Heniel here.
Yeah, I would do the Haniel because it does it for Color Fury. Because that way, like, even if you... Color Fury. Yeah. Color Fury.
And I just tri-lane shit, because at that point I'm just like, alright, tri-lane.
So, to explain Color Fury... Color Fury is a term we kind of use in White Schwartz in our community. Is always have your colors whenever you're setting up for like the turns you're going into.
Always prepare your colors ahead of time.
Yeah. So Color Fury on this turn particularly was sure you could have banished the Hamiel instead of bouncing it.
Bounce the Reniel, but if
yeah.
if I bounce the Reniel, he kills my Heniel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was bad. Which was
sure.
Good. I was also thinking he might only be on 3 and not 4 copies of this card.
Yeah.
Like, kind of just as theory, because I didn't have, like, concrete info. I didn't have a lot of lion testing. This was kind of, like, half experimentation, half, well, I can realistically just burn you really hard.
I think when we were, like, roughly testing it, I gave you, like, the soft generalization of, like, hey, expect this, expect that, just do this. They will play removal, and then, not, like, what kind of removal there will be, like, how many and all that. Because I think...
some degree of removal, so I opted to bounce the Heniel because I don't think I cared about him filtering.
Yeah.
Because I think I came to the conclusion that, I was already decently set up in a way where I could, like, I was already like in the process of setting up efficiently to a way to deny his ultimate turn and then kill on crackback. So I was already playing setup. So I'll resume.
Yeah.
Because this matters, because I'm gonna go to attack step and you're gonna see me cry.
Yeah.
So I move to attack step and stupidly, not thinking, because he revealed Deafening Inferno, I swing with the center first. It's a Hanio. This never occurred to me. What if he Hanio'd
into the grade 1?
into a Rediel, put the Rediel in front of my Gagiel,
Yeah.
and then paid 1 and burned my Hanio? This thought never occurred to me. Because I thought, oh, I've seen 2 hot Remiel. The chances of this are fucking not realistic.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, because I think, like, I think I only played 2 in my lists as well.
I also only had 1. I thought he was on 3, and then I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Kind of depressing.
But yeah, it's not the greatest.
I start filtering my hand. Like, the double filter's pretty good. He checks his Zhao Yun, which is whatever. Like, I still have to apply pressure at every stage of the game.
Yeah.
To him.
I think it's like you are applying the pressure because you are punching into it. He's applying pressure to you because he's trying to deck fin as much as he can. To hit like that critical density of like spells and 3s.
So momentum wise, that was such a drastically.
It's a very big one. That's a very big momentum move on for him. Because it's really strong. Because he closed off 2 lanes.
Turn where I should have brought him the equal cloth. Let me put it like that.
Yeah.
I realistically should have brought him to equal or less cloth that turn.
Yeah. Yep.
And then all of a sudden, he still has a cloth ahead of me, right? And probably a PG in hand. Nothing I can do about it. So it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we move on. We look for the next play. We predict the next couple of turns. Because a lot of how I've been playing, like, a lot of WIXOSS for me is predictions and analytics.
Yeah.
And it was like, again, like, he threw, like, the chances of that, in my opinion, happening were not realistic, so I didn't play for it, and then I got fucked.
Yeah, because I think...
And I think I'm explaining what my cards do here, because... Oh, no, I'm explaining the powers, because we're joking about Lancelot's existence, because there's...
Yeah. I think,
Because I'm like, yeah, you could probably have a Lancelot, so I'm going to predict you have a Lancelot.
Lancelot. And then, yeah.
And that was another reason why I took, Parshas? Code, maybe I think her name is?
Yeah.
Was because it was simply an 8K, so you had to deafening me.
Yeah, it's definitely...
So this turn was an interesting turn, let me put it like that.
Yeah.
He adds the Zhao Yun. I genuinely didn't give a shit about the Zhao Yun.
No, at this point,
Zhao Yun's best value is that it denies early game removal to it, but Ray doesn't care because Ray was a removal spell, and Shadow Signy doesn't affect the Lorraine.
Nope, it does not.
So I didn't care. Like, he drops doubles out Yun. I actually did not care.
No.
Whatsoever here.
It's actually, like, the most, like, blandest play.
Here's the most blatant point where I had... This was actually a critical moment for me. Because I'm calculating life cloth. He revealed he's popping Gagiel.
Yeah.
If he did not target the Gagiel... If he targeted,
Prima.
well, I'll show you the response and then I'll explain.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking here, and I'm deciding on the course of action. And I'm telling him I'm waiting, delay resolution.
Dude,
I activate end of turn.
yeah, that's correct. I would do it onto that.
Because he targeted Gagiel.
Yeah.
He targeted the, which matters here. If he had targeted Parshas Code Maze on death, I could, on vanish, I can rest one of his Signy and freeze him. Which would have been huge, because that prevents an attack.
Yeah.
So it does basically the same thing, her existing as a body does.
Yep.
But he chose the Gagi. So my mindset running here is, if I end of the turn this, he cannot end of the turn again, because he does not have a red in his enter.
Yeah.
In addition, I blocked 2 attacks, because I blocked the center no matter what, or I blocked one of those attacks no matter what, but I block an additional attack. Yeah. And I up my field. And I up 2 cards, which means I go into the next turn with an additional card in, or with an additional card on field.
Yeah.
Which could either turn into enter or stay on the field, depending on whatever I needed. Which is such a huge swing here. So this means at most I take 1 or 2 damage.
Yeah.
I think I take 2 here, and play in a because I'm trying to keep my board up in a way to prepare for his endless punchline turn.
Yeah, it definitely does do that a lot. I think once again it's just their standard attack lines. I think it's a little more like weaker on his end because he only has ones on his board. So during your next turn, it will actually like dramatically matter.
Ones, but I am revealed a handful of red and a handful of removal, and he has 2 Zygons. So he's probably feeling decently safe, and that's understandable.
Yeah.
In theory, is in a decently safe situation into most matchups.
However,
he is not safe, and he's dead swinging into my cards.
Yeah.
And then he swings Hanyo into left, which triggers, nothing happens, it's a Sharon. She never came up, by the way.
Yeah.
Funny enough. But it was like, fine, and then I opted the silver here. Okay. It's very, very almost max rarity deck. So Code Maze goes off.
Yep.
At the end of the turn, I get to freeze one of my opponent's which is huge.
It is very relevant.
It is a very, very powerful skill.
Yes.
That card should never be allowed to survive an up tap.
Yeah, when you try to remove it
up front to not deal with the fact that I freeze a card every turn.
Yeah. Because that way you can just be like purely not attack that card, or you can just have a board.
Like actually read her name. So I know she's like in this pile of cards in front of me. Probably here, being honest with you.
Oh, what? But yeah, so do some plays, go into that raid.
Respect for respect to this card. It's like my MVP.
Yeah.
My deck is right here though, so I don't know why I wasn't just
Looking for the deck.
Yeah, why didn't I just go to my deck?
Yes.
That is not my deck. Shit, where's my deck?
Oh no.
Oh no. Alright, so I grow into Ray, I draw Enter. Was this before? Because there was a game where I almost missed timing on it, and then my opponent was like, yeah, it doesn't matter because you technically did nothing prior to the draw charge. You were just attempting to call a card, but didn't attempt to resolve an effect. So he let me play take back, because I also let him play take back in the turn prior.
Yeah.
I don't remember. So I opt to Glory Grow here, and then I call Squid. Squid is, at the beginning of my attack phase draw, so it helps me reach condition for Ray.
Yep.
Which is if I draw 2 or more cards by card effects during my turn, during an attack phase trigger, my opponent sends a card. I can send a card on my opponent's field to the bottom of their deck. And then here I'm just walling. Notice how neither of my Elrigs are grown to level 2, so I have double defense up and 6 cards in my hand. So I am like offensively ready.
Yeah. I think that's fine.
And then beginning of attack phase, I draw the card first. You have to draw. You time the sequence so you draw first.
Yep.
Because if you don't do that, you don't meet condition for Ray. Because if Ray's effect attempts to resolve before you draw on the second card, it goes off field.
Yeah.
Like you have to tie. Technically, it's Chain Link 1 Ray, Chain Link 2 Squid.
Yeah.
That is technically how the chain link was.
Yeah.
But like it's actually the rule set for in WIXOSS actually lets it be very lenient after this, so it's fine. So then I'm paying the 2 actually. So I'm not. So I'm actually at 4, and I bought deck one of his cards. I'm only looking at the top 3 of his this turn. It seems like.
Yes, because he's on 5. Popping
so
out of these 3.
The top 3 cards this turn. And I think I just clear his board anyway because he's on 3 cards. So I decide that like I'm not overly pressed to do anything here. What I should have done was literally exactly swing center, swing Larig, and I'm just explaining how Squid works here.
Yeah.
Nothing relevant. I got it wrong actually, and I learned it in the middle of, after game 2, which I'm a little bit admittedly ashamed. Squid only works when it's by my effect. I thought it works during if it was from a card effect.
We've also learned that assumption. And I was like, yep, we have it.
Yeah, I gotta go into that next game with that note. I think I win regardless because of how the Uchu Ray matchup works. But I do want to note I made drastic number of misplays during the second game.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for it.
Yeah.
But neither of us noticed, so it was considered as.
Yeah. It's progress as much as you can at that point, because there's some ways to like rewind it as much as you can.
Or progress as you go.
Yeah.
Because at that point my opponent also allowed this to happen.
Yeah. Because I think it's.
If my opponent was just allowed to salvage shields, cool. But
yeah.
Like I would have actually accepted that. Like right, them going +6 for my fuck up, but technically.
Yeah, like it's a little hard to do.
I actually no, it's on me. I provided her the wrong information. I won't show that game.
Yeah. But yeah. Ooh.
No, it's nothing. Then
Okay.
just proceeding.
Ooh. Cool. Just doing the things. Punching with vanguards. Checking for breaks. Nope, that's just a Lancelot. That's a Deafening Inferno. And doing that as well. And yep, clear off the life buffs, drawing into the turn next. Do the inner charge. The inner charging a good dig is interesting.
It was, especially since I resolved the end of the turn already.
Yeah, I would have not charged the good dig. Even when you go into that, your hand is like fairly low at this point as well. I would have kept a good dig and then just not put the inner because you already took so much damage from it already. Sure, Lion has like a very bad inner problem, but most players play around that inner problem with the other.
I think I'm still playing a little lucky here, to be honest. Because looking at the board state, my win condition is my opponent not break killing one of my dudes. And if he commits too much, I think I just get fucked anyway. So I think my win condition is my opponent not, or no, because my opponent made a really weird decision here, if I remember. Which is he opted to grow during the moves to crush a life boss.
So surprisingly, a lot of players have done that against me as well. Because I always did it as like a counter, like I always do it on my opponent's turn. So doing every player who has done that like on me, like aggressively as an aggressive grow on like a main phase grow. So it's definitely something that I was like, oh, that's kind of okay. And I was like, sure, cross the life off here, go for the kill here, it closes that gap. But I think I would have done it as a defensive primarily for me. Just because it lets me, as Lion, as long as you make those gaps like truly pure, you can like play around with it. I think she had to put you in from like 4 to 3, but she could have worked on like 4. I would have been able to work on 4. I would have done it on 4. When you hit like 3, and I was like, okay, this is confirmed. Lion can do things. And then because I knew for sure if I was playing against it, you would stop at least like 2 attacks. So having that defensive.
Yes, so I had the option to.
Yeah.
Again, like he opted to grow here, which was just like one of those things I was like, okay.
Okay.
And if he doesn't clear both 2 zones, I just don't take damage, so I don't care. But like losing the one defensive option is, I think, what let me open the door to killing him on the next turn, because all of a sudden I had less to worry.
Yeah, it definitely was that for sure.
And we'll talk about it going into
the future matches. Cool. And then but yeah, it's definitely like it's now he or she is thinking about the board setup here. Yeah, I think most of my recordings ended up being like about I think about like 25-30 minutes for each one. So
not bad.
I think it was like it wasn't as bad. I think it was just because like for a couple of minutes
he's
was just
still deciding on decisions, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, because I know what my turn, right? Like I knew how the next couple of turns progress. I'm looking for a 3-turn block here, not like. So again, he discards the good dig. What the hell?
Yeah, that's curious as well, because like.
I don't remember him resolving a good dig this turn in all.
No, at all, because I think he's just inner charging right now. Yeah, because it's always like weird. Because I always see like players like grow offensively with it, and I was like, you're right to do it as that, but I wouldn't do it like as a main phase action. I think that's just me inherently. Like asking that question as well, because I always did it like as a reaction, and sometimes you don't need to use it at all. You actually do need like that in there for like other pieces as well. People do play it is with the wolf reflection or wolf howl. It's 0 enter to like to gain like a shield, and then you can pay 1 to I think you kill something in response. A lot of players play that as their defensive wall. I don't in my deck because I strategize be like, all right, if I can't kill him, how do I live? I do this instead. And I was like, okay. So yeah, there's that. There's the crush. I think you were just like back whining it a little bit too much.
No, again, like he admitted to like he burns me here. And
He does burn you here.
To be burned here.
Yeah.
Regulus draw 2, like.
Yep, that was
best break here, but it's like whatever, fuck it.
A free break is a free break, especially knowing
again,
on my face.
It's like one of those things where I wasn't ready for this.
I think most of us breaking thing.
Breaking, so, and then he commits a servant. So he chose not to use the good digs in order to crush the life cloth to try and get one stage further. I just noticed that that's a DIR in this punchline.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, that's DIR.
But yep, and then he just goes out.
Because he moves to attack phase, and obviously he presents a hard ass lethal if I don't do something about it. So I do something about it.
Yeah. And I think it was you with double defense up, it makes it easier on you to stop that like massive push as well. Sure, it would have been a little bit more comfortable to be on 3 life cloth rather than 2, but I think you still had it under control. Because you go into goodbye.
I'm going to bye-bye.
Yeah.
Where I bounce a code, so I don't have to pay to activate a shield.
Yep.
But I pay to draw a shield to secure life. Secure not dying, because I already had a shield in hand in public due to all my drawing on the last turn.
Yeah.
And then I decided not to go Harana because I didn't actually.
I don't think you needed
so
it.
Like, I'd rather just eat the Harana in my hand, right?
Ooh, sorry about that.
You're fine.
If you were to grow the Hirana, I would kill off the Kazusuchi just because it creates an opening line rather than like a defensive line.
And break, and then he goes. I think he hits 3 here.
I believe so. Most of them will hit on average 2 to 3 if they were like pretty good deck fending. Surprisingly that because he didn't fin, he only finned like 3 times, which is like very like surprising. It's like the average number, but I think I would have done like 4 to 5. 4 to 5 secures like a perfect like cleanup of like damage.
Yep, there's the spell.
Yep.
So thrilling, and then I reveal the 2 shields for the last 2 attack.
Sorry about that.
It goes to my turn.
Yep.
I think I draw exactly Kagesuchi here.
Yep.
Or I already had her in hand from like some like amount of digging.
Yep.
So I'm thinking about how my turn works because I do have to freeze. I'm gonna bot deck a servant. Like I bot deck a servant. I represent lethal, like something akin to that. Right, like. I assume he has a servant in hand. Don't really care.
Yeah. And then
I'm thinking about how the turn progresses. Because I don't remember if I use Kagesuchi or not. I might not be. I might not actually. I don't think I need to though.
I don't think you do. Not for this one right here.
Hard attempt to close the game here.
Yeah, because I think you charge the squid. I would charge squid.
Not squid. I need squid to enable Ray.
Yeah.
So I actually forfeit draw phase or interface because I didn't need it. So I filter 1 here.
Oh, so you just do it for the discard, yeah?
No, I do it for the draw.
Oh, you do no for like so you do it for the draw for sure, but like the discard helps out a lot as well.
The discard helps, but it's not the way I win here. And you'll see why in a second. And I'm like, here's how I randomize it. I roll 6, 5, and 4 in that order.
Perfect.
Because I'm like 1 to 4, roll a die.
Yep.
All right, discard the card. I put it in his hand. Cool. And I'm like, okay, you had 4 cards in hand. Fuck it. I was fine. So here's where the play is. I just do whatever I can to secure the game here,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see what happens. You'll see how it happens.
Mm.
Because this does require a minor amount of luck, but I'm also under the decently okay assumption he cannot kill me here, because he has to flip folklore or something else in order to kill me here, essentially. He has to flip folklore or a servant or a recur in order to kill me, which he has revealed, which he did not reveal earlier in the game. So this is where I'm making my decision, because all of a sudden it created a awkward situation for me, right? So then I grow into Stamp, and then we're joking about popping his servant, or like not popping his servant and setting his bottom deck, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's what's about to happen.
No, that's the plan.
And then once per game.
Yep.
And then I use the once per game here to rip any servant he currently has, and I reveal 3.
Yep. Yeah, it should be like what, some of the rest of his hand.
Which is, he reveals the second copy of Kakisuchi, which to me represents, unless there's a servant in enter, which is a very real chance here.
Yep.
I win, but this is like I have to go for this.
It's a very good, clean like punch through.
Yeah, like it's very clean. The only thing that wasn't clean was I had to give him an error on that turn.
I think that's right. God, I hate my sips.
And then he prevents his next damage.
Yep.
That's literally, and then but like so exactly it doesn't flip Deafening Inferno. I'm fine.
Because I think a Deafening Inferno here does shut down your lanes.
Deafening Inferno here loses me the game.
Yeah.
So then it squids into a Deafening Inferno, and the Deafening Inferno was in there.
Yeah.
So because I knew for a fact it was in there.
Yeah.
Well, I knew it was either a Deafening Inferno or a recur. I was under the impression it was Deafening Inferno, which is why I set up the tri-lane.
Yeah.
But he had literally nothing, so going into his next turn, I think I'm okay. And then that secures the game.
Yep. And that was round 1 on Ryan's end.
Yep, where I win.
Oh. So, I think we'll throw up Ryan's next games, which is game 2? Is it game 2?
It should be, but the file seems to be corrupted.
Ooh.
Fun.
Groove.
Game 4 it is, I guess.
Game 4 it is. Huh.
So I'll give you a short run. Game 2, again, against Tamago Control. It's... Never played against the deck before. Learned that it is decently in my favor, just due to...
Just cleaning up board state.
I'm basically playing hand hate emphasized Nova, but they can't block me as easily, so that's kind of the long and short of that one.
I call Tamagoro freeze as in like it's a deck that can deal with things except for the board.
Yeah.
So it's basically like they can deal with your hand and enter.
Game 5 is a little cursed. And those are the only 2 I have left, I think.
Okay.
So I should have it up.
Okay. Cool. That's not true. I just see your share. I was like,
But I should be streaming it though.
wait, never mind. That makes sense because you disconnected from the stream, or you disconnected from the setup.
Re-put it in.
Yeah, because I was about to say is like I would just turn off the thingy and you could just left the thing on. It would have helped a lot.
Literally zero recollection of how this.
Yeah.
Oh, it is against the mirror. Okay.
Yeah.
So he is also on Ray.
Yeah. And I believe that's the SAO sleeves. So, I did play against this deck.
Really?
I did, because I definitely remembered.
Oh, I did not. Alright, so that's me checking the notifications.
Yeah. Because I was about to say, I was like, those are SEO sleeves.
The stream was, Discord record those.
Nope, it'll definitely record it.
Because he goes, okay, so I fast forwarded a little bit, my bad.
No, you're fine. I think fast forwarding is fine.
And the Haniel, call Haniel.
Yep. And then, yeah, because those are SAO Asuna sleeves.
Yes.
Yes, so I have definitely played against this person.
Oh, this is not Asuna. This is Yuki.
Oh, Yuki? No, I definitely don't remember this.
Did you? You remember if you played into No Limit?
Yeah. Because I believe...
Played into another Ray, because I thought you knew.
No, I did not play against another Ray. So, It was definitely not that. So then the mirror matches right here.
This was actually a Weiss player, by the way, so like I also
Just chilling with Weiss.
But we ended up being like very, like, this game I think had the most serious tone out of all of my games, admittedly.
Yeah. Why did it do that? I don't know why. There we go. Hoppa! Hoppa papa. So it's decision making
Scry
here.
3, the card literally reads Scry 3.
Yeah.
Like that,
The
like,
Blue Angel girl. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about it, but I was like...
I wouldn't have played it. I think, like, Scrying 3 is fine. It's pretty much a Hania without
and
Enter.
Grew, Akino, Bounce, Hanio, kind of expected that. Never actually played against Ray Mirror, so this was like a...
It definitely is a first experience, yeah.
Yeah, because we had like one game of testing, so I had a generalized idea. Okay, so this is where Haniel, and then Haniel statistically does something, and it did something here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I filter off the Haniel, discarding the Haniel that he bounced into my hand, so I don't remember what my hand is. But I put it into the column that blocks him out, essentially.
Yep, that's correct.
He swings with his lyric.
Yep.
And I just take it.
Yep. Then, yep, from here you
I think
just
my handle is weird, which is why I just kind of took it.
Damage the Lancelot, that's not actually too bad. Charge 1.
Okay, so I banished the Recollectus here because I think I had everything I needed in my hand.
I think
this turn.
I think you would just
So
do
I
it for color as well.
To slow roll right here. Because I was just gonna call Lancelot. Yeah,
Yep.
that makes sense. Lancelot vanished 1, and I apply the aggro here. Essentially.
I would do it as well in this match, in this mirror matchup. I think whoever clears out the most life cloth in the back and forth transaction wins the game.
It's all early game oriented, I think.
So it's definitely very important.
I grow here to unlock grow.
To unlock
so
like grade 2.
This one specifically for Harana 3. For Harana 2.
Yeah.
So I had Stamp, and then I call Maze, which actually does a lot in this matchup.
Because it forces you to use if you dig a level 3 raid, it forces you to actually like target that card.
Yeah, exactly. It forces the way the lines work.
He definitely does.
And then I'm moving to attacks. I'm just trying to figure out what to attack first because I wasn't fully sure. I ended up going for that one. He servants, no target.
Yep.
And then swing again. Which was this was from set 3. It was pitch 1, vanished 1, and I was
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize this was a card. So
Because it's a blue card. Yeah.
It's a red card.
Oh right. It's the new one. Yeah.
Which is whatever, and then he servants, which is exactly what I expect to happen. I'm checking my graveyard and I'm assessing the situation.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm like trying to read everything because he said he was a Weiss player, so I assumed
he should be knowing what he's doing.
A lot because he should be reading as far into the game as I was.
Yeah.
That was the part that was disturbing me.
Yeah.
Because he and I both weren't I wasn't fully sure of what lines were happening, so I had to
operate on that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he also had Royal Blue in his hand. As you notice, his discard is Royal Blue.
Yeah. I think that's not a wrong assumption into Ray. I think it actually hurts Ray not like a lot, but it hurts it a little bit more than you would think. He probably plays it without that 10k vanilla instead of it. I don't know his list for sure. Has it?
Folklore is my personal fact. So.
I think Folklore would have been inside his slot with a Lancelot.
And also we're talking for this game for reference are Haranas and Akino same line.
I imagine so.
Red and yellow or red and yellow.
Yeah. And then he
plays. That's how we test it for paralleling purposes, because there's no actual care about the position of the side lyrics. So And then he just chooses to commit left and right and nothing into the center, which is weird to me.
I
But
think
I'm just like, okay, cool,
I think it's
I don't
yeah.
care.
I understand
Like,
why he
open
would
up
do
the
that.
zone.
Yeah, I think I understand why he would do it because he
He
needs to
also-
like
also-
inflict as much damage as he can.
Also of note, he didn't grow Hirana.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to pay attention to that during that game. And
Yeah.
then I servant here.
I believe so.
There's more than one road with the option road.
Mhm.
I don't remember what's in my graveyard during this match, so it's we'll see what I grab. Okay, so I opt for the Lancelot. So that means I plan on doing something next turn, or I plan on just opting to clear his board next turn. Yep, Nobunaga, and then I just take it, which was a Deafening Inferno. Rip.
Yep. And
There's a lot of red, and then I'm like, at the end of the turn, I will I will freeze the card, but I genuinely didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, because his mic gets cleared off pretty soon.
The point of the deck is not the freeze. The point of this card was it's on death freeze.
Yeah. I mean that and like
90% of Hirana's removal was
vanish.
So only the Cyber Rakes could do something about non-vanishing removal, and so they only got limited access. So then Ray, draw one, enter charge. Didn't enter charge a blue, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So there's no blue in my enter. So now I have to like actually go, okay, what am I doing here? So I go into this and bounce his 10k actually.
Yeah.
I bounce his vanilla because it's just a vanilla and I don't care about it. Then I call the Lancelot to clear his name. Right?
Yep.
Like,
typical lines.
I think I just call Folklore, honestly, and
I
Tri-Lane.
think so, yeah.
I know I Tri-Lane here, I just don't remember what I Tri-Lane with. I'm pretty sure it's either Folklore or another main.
It looks like a Folklore?
No, so, this was weird. So I was attempting to Harmony this.
Yeah.
Like, wait, before any other action, I'm like, wait, I can't.
Oh, because it was already tapped, or?
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, because you're the 6 limit, yeah.
Yeah, my limit's 6, so then I just honey up. Because I'm like, alright, fuck it, I'll just get an extra card in hand.
Yeah.
I don't need to use Ray, obviously, because I set it up so I didn't.
Yep.
I added Gagiel, so I could filter next turn.
Yep.
Because I obviously had Squid in hand. And then I'm thinking about if I Glory Grow here.
Nope, clear off this, do the Squid.
Yep, which I think is fine because I think I had 7 in hand that turn.
Yeah, and then you still get that Gagiel play.
Back to 7 too, so I was just like, I had the cards in there. And I do opt for the Glory Grow.
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, so no matter what, I put him to 2.
Yeah.
That's my mindset here.
Because at some point, if your opponent dry chucks like that defensive, it will like kill it
the
off.
fact that his Hirana is level 1 means he doesn't have his ease of access removal. So he's debating here what to do, because he does have the option to grow and salvage a servant.
Yeah.
Because, and then a lot of like specific interactions I will show in the next turn. I think the next turn reveals a lot.
Yeah. I also did not shave. Oh well. Oh well. So doing the cool things. Thing about life. Getting rid of opponent's life cloths. Counting numbers.
Yeah, he's figuring out his, like he's doing what I'm doing. He's reading into the future.
Yeah.
He's reading how many turns ahead, what happens, and what interactions happen.
Yeah.
I'm on a full grit, so he chooses to do nothing here.
No, I would do
he's
it.
reading the same thing as me. He probably has a life but I rounded the situation in a way where so he checks 2, but both of his life breaks don't remove. We both knew he was going to check them. The thing was he didn't draw removal breaks though.
Yeah.
Which is very important here because you'll see why.
I'm also fairly tired as well. Yeah. But yeah.
Because the fact that this wasn't a removal break all but secured I won the game on the next turn. Let me put it like that.
No, I would understand that as well. Because this guarantees you a closing on 3 lanes again the next turn.
yeah, as long as I represent 3 lanes on the next turn, I win the game.
Mm.
Because the fact that this wasn't a removal break.
Yeah.
However, I was kind of prepared for the invert, a removal break, right?
Mm.
But the fact that it didn't happen meant a lot happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because it does matter on that.
So he has 5 cards in hand currently, so he's debating on what to salvage. So he's doing, like, he is very much calculating this, because I think he realized the same thing I did when that didn't reveal a defensive break. Right? And I think just the humility on top of the fetus was, I thought it was deafening for a minute. And then Ray comes in and, just gears the rest of his cloth.
Yep.
We just trigger on both, and we're like, okay, fuck. Royal Blue is huge here, but it doesn't do it.
No, it's not enough. Because even if your Elber gets frozen, your Signies will do the job instead.
Exactly. And I don't care if he freezes one of my Signies here, because I'm going to...
Charge it away, I think.
I have to full clear next turn anyway. And then I end the turn on 7 or 6... Like, I end the turn on 6 or full grip.
Yeah. Because usually most players have not ended on, like, a full grip. I think I've ended on a full grip on most of my games.
And then
like
that's a draw 2 break? I guess it's a draw 2 break.
Yes. Looks like it.
I think he had another action.
Yeah.
I think that break had another effect, which is why I didn't, which is why we delayed.
Yeah. Doing the things. So here he should be going to his Ray. No. It's the defensive. Alright. Not the pain. His ring. Yep. Yep, that's the group. Alright. Send me the board.
Sorry, to explain, he was explaining to me how he... And then, I think he's just...
Yeah, because I see him playing the Rose Quartz, paying for the Rose Quartz.
Gagiel, and then he's talking about number of instances of draw, which is the dice on the center right.
Yeah. Okay.
He's also trying to figure out how to win the game. So...
Yeah, because from here...
He's, like... You guys didn't hear any of that, right, by the way?
No. It's
because it's kind of personal, so...
No, you're fine. Who? But yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give...
I will tell you, sometimes your mic does, like, cut out in and out, so...
That's whatever. I have to check something real quick, though.
No, you're fine. So, playing the board, doing the Rose Quartz Gabrielle, cleans that up, cleans up the other row, probably with a level 1 row, yep.
Hopefully it processed, and then I'm not reading negative in okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is like
And then he...
actually important. I wasn't expecting this to happen
today.
So, like,
no, you're fine.
my priorities.
So he plays the Blurry Grove, makes sense, because he also needs to clean up this turn as well.
Because if I, for some reason, if he full clears and I only, which he can actually.
Yeah, he can right here.
I only have one removal instance here.
Yeah.
He does win the game.
He does win the game.
But
you have, I think you're on 2. Yeah. Because I think you're still on 2 1s, so you have the enter for it.
I am on 2 1s, and I do represent I can just double grow, but he does have to play for his wins.
Yeah, I think you still have to play for that line as well.
Yeah, he does still have to play for the situation.
Mm. Yeah, because I think you
he
still.
doesn't once per game, obviously, because glory goes in effect. There's no value in it.
Mm. Yeah.
And then he is paying the 2 to
Bot tech. Yep.
Which is exactly what you expect here.
Yep. Yeah, because the thing is that like it's the thing is that he has to go for that setup because you're on 3 light cloth. If you're on 2, because like this is like the optimal time to do the things.
Okay, yeah. So I only have 5 cards. I only have 5 enter after this.
Mm.
So I stamp and I'm trying to figure out what to remove. So I remove the quartz because the quartz is going to be the problem.
Yep, quartz is big.
And then I pay 2.
Yep, going to
throw into Akino.
Bye bye.
And I return. Don't care.
I think you got your just for the on attack. Yeah.
Yeah, like as long as it's something I can target on my.
Mm-hmm. I think.
And then from here, it's pretty obvious how the game progresses for the rest of the game.
Yep.
And again, he played to his win condition, which was me not having this.
Yep.
Or having double interaction.
Yeah.
Because the way this works, ladies and gentlemen, I only break once, and I don't take a second damage for a direct hit. Is how double crush works.
Yep.
Which is very important because otherwise I would have lost.
Oh yeah, but it definitely would kill a lot more players if they had worked like that.
Oh dude, the number of games I would win off that.
Oh man, the number of games I would be like dead would be like dramatically big more.
I know, right?
I think surprisingly I tempo out my damage like surprisingly like oh yeah I would do this.
We're just assessing board state, assessing the situation.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I think both of us realize I win the game.
Yep.
Because there is a Gagiel in my hand.
Yep, and then just placing on board would just do it.
I also have not used end of the turn.
Yep.
But my opponent doesn't know my disassemble.
Yep.
So, but then again, I could try laying Song of WIXOSS and get literally the same result.
Mm.
And I forgot to up my side rig. Oh well.
I
didn't think I cared.
Nah. Because I think you're just going for bodies at this point. Yep.
I'm trying to figure out like the cleanest way to do this essentially.
Mm-hmm. Because you can do like the most.
Because I think I just like.
Deafening Inferno.
Okay, so I just deafening the same Yetter.
Yeah.
Oh no. So what I do here is to control a little bit. If I'm gonna be honest.
I believe it was a little bit of a troll because you could definitely like not do the Deafening Inferno. You could have just bottom deck it, unless you didn't have a way to draw.
No. So I was playing for Akino. Oh, I was playing around Akino.
Oh, you were playing around Bye Bye, right?
I was playing around Bye Bye. No, I was playing around Akino no Peace.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's not the wrong assumption.
Yeah, because I came to a realization right here and now.
Yeah.
There's a way I actually lose the game.
Yeah, because if they did have peace and then enough.
If he has Akino no Peace, look at his enter.
Yeah, it's.
I lose the game.
Yeah.
So now I'm actually playing a different game of WIXOSS than my opponent is. I'm playing how many blue cards.
For a hand turn.
And I'm like, and you can see the bottom count is there's 4 on each side, so in the fact that the 4 face down are clearly the blue cards tonight.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create.
Yep.
So I Song of. So here I
end of turn.
Mode salvage 1.
Yep. Grabs
I do opt for the Lancelot here.
Yeah. Just for have a board.
I'm counting size. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Because you're counting board.
I'm playing around stamp and I'm counting size.
Okay.
I'm playing around Akino no Peace here.
Yeah.
Because I have to. What I do is here I go 3-3-2. I go for the one way Akino no Peace does not fuck me up the ass. In all reality, if I was playing around Peace correctly, no, I had the Kakatsuchi, so I just don't care.
Yeah.
So I think what I should have done was discard 2 Rise Nobunaga.
Yeah, and then just give it double or no, not even give it double crush.
Rise Nobunaga for the body.
Yeah.
It forces Akino no Peace to target that one. Because I force Akino no Peace to activate very specifically. And then I discard and I force him down to 2 cards. The reason this matters is, again, I'm not playing as a flex on his face. He does have there is an out that I'm unaware of that he could have.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not he has
Yeah. Because, like...
So he has now 2 cards in hand. Akino no Peace can only bounce
one card.
because he needs at least 3 cards in hand, I think, to perform a double. So I am playing around Akino no Peace here.
Yeah. And I think that's...
And so when I limit break, or so when I use my once per game for 4, it creates a 2 card in hand situation. Akino no Peace can no longer resolve.
Yep.
And bounce a level 2 and a level 3. So also, because Kakisuchi's on the field, Rail Sports is 14k.
Yeah.
So he has to commit the bounce to do literally anything. And I'm explaining to him how. So.
Yeah.
Because it says during the attack phase, or during my turn.
Yeah.
So I just my board by 2. So I tell him, yeah, bypass the stamp, however, 2 targets are legal.
Yeah.
I just get my Rail Sports.
Yep.
I think there is a misplay here where I attempted to one-off Rose Quartz and then learned that Rose Quartz is you must discard 2. But I never look at the card, and it's clear I never look at the card, so it was a reversible game state, so what's what?
Yeah.
It doesn't actually alter.
It doesn't alter the end of it. I think as long as...
It doesn't alter the reaction of the game. I just thought I got the filter off the the card he bounced.
Because it's an easier fix for both
players. I think he bounces. So.
Yeah. Because he grows into bye-bye.
Bye-bye, which is the generic one.
Yep.
I expected it to be bye-bye, but
in case of the...
In case of emergency, in case he gets to the next turn.
Yep.
He doesn't get to the next turn. And I'm like, bounce it, draw it, and then I'm like, oh, this doesn't work like this, and then we're talking about that, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. And I read it because I'm like, I don't know how to read because apparently I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Yep.
And then I just put the card back in top.
Yeah.
So reversible game state because 1 card's in my.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, swing for game.
Yep. And
it's like, yeah, you got there. And I'm like, yep.
Go. Alright.
But he very clearly had the win condition on the next.
Alright.
Put him like that.
And then your last...
Don't let it happen.
Yep. And then your last game is the feature match.
Yes. So I have to explain something about the feature match.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have the full footage.
That's okay.
So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, temporarily go to the Carta Makika's Twitch channel. The exact timestamp is 1:17:01.
Yeah.
If you wish to watch the beginning portions of the game with the commentary.
Yeah. If not, we'll just go through.
Better. I am going to actually watch it, part of it with Bob.
Okay. But before
we get to the point, I have the footage.
Yeah, but before that, we're going to go on a quick break, use the bathrooms, refresh our lives, do some things.
Yep, I gotta go to Game 5 anyway.
Yep, and then we'll be back. Be back real quick, bucks.
Yep, bye.
Alright, and we are back. Semi-scuffed up Ryan, but that's because I need to watch the thingy. Huzzah! Nope. This?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Oh god!
Footage, but let's, like I said, me and Robert are gonna go over quick.
There we go. Jesus Christ. God, man.
And I will show the rest of that footage because in a second, this is the feature match for the June round 5. The start of the round, at least.
Yeah, it is the feature match for round 5.
Which you can find on the TV Twitch channel. Bob and I are going to watch a bit of the stream export real quick.
Yep.
Just kind of, I don't know if we can show their stream on our stream.
I think that's
even
fine.
It is my game with permission from my opponent to stream it.
Yeah. I think it's fine just to capture like that little bit.
Against the 8th place winner, or the 8th place, Alonso? I'm bad at names. And I was talking, and you are such a cool dude, I'm sorry. This is actually my match against the 8th place player.
Cool. But yeah.
So you have reference. So Bob and I again are gonna watch the. Do you have the Carta Twitch page up?
No, I do not. I think.
Or are we just gonna watch?
I think watching you on your half is fine. We can explain the first minute out on the stream. So I think we can catch a little bit of a glimpse there. It's a little. Yeah. Hello.
Robert.
Oh, hold on. Oh,
you muted yourself. What the fuck?
I don't know why that happened. I was probably because I was clicking on the thing and then every time I click my mouse once it double clicks.
So as you can see, this is where my footage is. It's pretty okayly mid into the game.
Yeah.
My camera starts to fuck up, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, my camera has done that a lot more on the on the tournament. You'll definitely see that.
My footage is actually. Oh no, it's because my footage pauses at the weird time.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's a little bit into the game. So I will go over the beginning part with Bob and everyone real quick.
Yep.
To sum it up, this should be, I think, the end of level of turn 4. So my opponent just grew to turn 2. Okay, so to explain, my opening hand, 5 3s, mull 5, easy fast mull 5. Draw 5. It is level 3, level 3, level 2, level 2, thrilling, I think. And I will go for a play by quick. So I start my turn, and I go first, obviously, because bad luck. I draw. I activate Thrilling. It resolves, to my surprise. I draw 2, pitch 1 past turn, because I drew a Servant and nothing else. So my opponent has free control of the board for a turn.
Yeah.
So what do? They play a Zaoyun, which is the card missing on my opponent's board.
Yep.
Based on
the board.
Yep. And birds me for 2. Can't really do shit about it.
Yep.
Draw 2 cards. They are not level 1s. They are new, and you can see, and from here on out, they are actually the code mazes on my field.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah, this has been a cursed ass game already, Bob.
Yeah. I think.
Ready for
Oh god.
he tried to random it drain me. During his turn, I end up turn it because
you had to at this point.
At that point, A, I have to, and B, it's how I have to play into the matchup anyway. So whatever.
Yeah.
All right, and I think we so I swing once, first damage breaks, swing again. The second damage breaks, it's ice, or it's a royal blue.
Yep.
I opt not to swing with my leg because I don't want my leg to tap for me my level 3 turn. I'm already so far behind.
It's so far, yeah.
I need that turn 3 burst.
Yep.
And from here we are good to begin.
Yep. Also, Brian did cut out, but it is on the Carta Magia TV on Twitch for this feature round if you want the audio. Go check that out.
He goes to 2, commits a board, doesn't honestly have to do anything, he's not in pressure at all, I'm the one on faster.
Yeah.
By the way, opponent's really cool dude, played really well. Nothing on it, obviously, just the early game went abysmal for me. he and I play this jokey mirror, so I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna down and freeze.
That one.
Yeah, which is facing. I think we'd agreed it is facing my Harana.
Yep, it looks like right.
Yep.
Because if you like position it like
And then
correctly,
he swings at me. Obviously, I don't have a serve it, so I check 3.
Mhm.
I add. I think for whatever reason, I thought it was a good idea to add a servant to my hand. Into a matchup where I actually aggressively mull up servant. Nope, I add a guy. Oh no, I think about the Gagio. I'm about to finish resolution. However, I do not finish resolution. I opt for Nobunaga instead. And this is that one play I was talking about earlier, Bob, where I could have been able to play this turn.
yeah.
I opted for a different play. I opted
Okay.
for a drastically different play.
I think that would like
Okay, end of turn, game where our mazes are going to freeze each other for the rest of eternity. I do nothing, draw 2. Enter charge my froze chick, obviously. Pay to out 2, round array.
Yep.
At this point, again, I'm just behind.
Yeah. Like the thing is that.
Like, and I'm like, and it's like I'm on the uphill. Like, if I'd say this match is a 50-50, like that turn 1 to turn 2 put me.
Yeah, it puts you down to like
30% on a win rate. Nothing like nothing on my opponent. Got 8th place. He did really well. Game was awesome. Dude's chill as hell. It was just really bad game for me. Oh, also something of note. I forgot to mention this earlier. My 2 draws for turn were were both servants.
Oh.
Yeah. I figured I'd mention that now. And then for whatever reason, oh, I remember the reason. It was Deafening Inferno at a level 3. So I have to add that servant to my hand.
Yeah.
Just to
So.
keep card advantage against a hand hate set.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I'm losing. Like I was forced into half my hand, and it's just gonna get yeeted next turn. So I play the rest of my game without servants.
Yeah.
I Octano to bounce. I Deafening Inferno to remove his board, or at least attempt to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just deciding on what to pay his cost.
Yeah.
Like, if you counter it, it doesn't change anything. Oh yeah, that card is Sharon. Sharon did nothing in this situation. We call the maze again because again we're just trying to mediate losing the game.
Yep. Trying to cut down rows.
I am still not fully grown at all because the deck is designed to swing at size limit 6.
Yeah.
So I usually always have a 1 and 2, 3 in my hand.
Yeah, but right now,
as you can see, I have a 1, 2, and 3. I choose not to rise here because I'm just gonna go into Nobunaga because fuck, he's gonna remove my entire hand next turn anyway. Right?
Yeah,
So
and then
point,
you
like,
just want the
fuck
body.
it. Yeah, so at this point, I'm like, I opted for the body, which is why I didn't go into Gagio. It was 2 enter on the Gagio to bounce to bot deck 1. I get a filter, but that filter does nothing if I don't have a hand.
Yeah. Like
So I have a 3-card hand here, by the way. 3 servants.
Yeah. I think your pick on
correct decision.
Yep.
He's playing exactly the way he needs to.
Yeah. I think
And he bangs here? Yeah, he bangs here.
Yeah, he has the capo.
So I'm just gonna... In hindsight, I don't think I swung with my servants. But I swing with my Signy. Because I just realized that he doesn't actually have a way to vanish them. But... I do it anyway.
Yeah. So the thing...
No. I do it to force the capo proc.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was what happened here. I was forced to swing with them.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at myself and I'm like...
You need to deal that damage.
No. Yeah, I'm like locked into playing catch up here.
So the thing with your Nobunaga play, I think that's fine because you were on that back burner, like the really far back burner. It provides you a 13k body. It allows you to like clean up smaller things onto that like play into it.
And then the servants, I don't like at this point. I don't care. I have to win through bodies.
Yeah.
And I know I just went through hardcore card quality.
Yeah.
But here's how you play through Till, and here's how you play, still trying to assess your win. Like, I did ultimately brick, but I don't regret playing this game.
No, I think this is definitely like
had a lot of fun. This might be my favorite game of the
tournament. Yeah.
With you.
Oh yeah, I definitely, especially if you were on the back burner, This is definitely like,
Well,
all right,
you
gotta
can't
test
see
your
my
deck.
face, but like you can see.
Oh, I saw your. I
Like,
can.
your
I
ass
can.
is off.
I know. I can see like by your arm motions, like how you would react as well. But that's just
Yeah,
because I know
like-
you personally.
Yeah, but do you see like I'm just having fun. I'm not even like I'm not even
Yeah,
like as
upset.
as I should be.
Yeah.
Because this is like I actually lost the game off turn 1 and I suck. But like nothing I can do about it. So fuck it. Let's just have fun. And then I'm just like, hey, you wanted to be random? They're the same card. Like I did it.
Yeah. Then freezes
And
on the
then you can
2.
tell here we're just gonna meme about double freezing.
Yep.
I think I do actually double freeze here. I got some point for a meme.
I definitely have.
Makes a joke about it too.
Yeah. But it is interesting, just to see like slot ups here and there.
Again, that's not my.
Oh,
opponent.
he
It's
does
just
play
one
the
of
trial deck
those-
card. Okay.
Yeah, he does. Like I said,
It's
this is the.
yeah.
You saw the 8th blink, right?
The
his list,
yeah, I believe I looked into it, and then I know that
then-
Tyler, our friend, was testing it out, and it was like it's
this
really
card,
annoying.
and I'm like, yeah, it's a servant.
Ooh, yo, we got a follow! Rias Otaku, thank you for the follow! I believe now we just officially hit 100 followers. I believe.
Shit, we actually did it.
I think I have. I'll double check the stats real quick. But. Whoopa. We'll check the power scouts.
And then I grown a stamp and I just vanish one. Oh, I vanish the maze here so he isn't locking me down for the next couple of turns.
Yeah.
And then we joke about the double freeze.
Nope, 99. Ah! We're still at 99.
Lock down his Fenrir.
Ah, sadness.
Rip.
Still at 99. Ah,
Unfortunate.
unfortunate.
Yep, and then we're like... Oh, so there we were talking about the vanish rule. Because this card still vanishes by effect.
Yes.
Even though it goes to... It's just a replacement on where
The vanish.
treat does vanish.
Yeah, yeah,
And then Gagiel was freeze and draw, so I get a card in hand. And then keep frozen. We're just like good to go, good to go. Cool, frozen. I get that my Lyric this turn though, and I draw.
The best regards from Germany. Oh, nice.
Whoa, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Draw 2. I think I just enter the Haniel regardless of what state is here.
Mm.
And then I accidentally flip the card.
No.
Little bit until not like, admittedly the most crap, but oh well.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Can't do much.
Haniel. I draw Haniel and the Haniel and the Haniel.
Ah, yes, the triple honey will play.
Yeah. Well, I had the Regulicus. I definitely play another Hanyo. Not for a fact. I just don't remember when I played that.
Oh, just right in the middle.
That's the second Hanyo.
Cool, cool.
Like, I think, statistically speaking, the rest of my deck is just level 1s, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna mediate
Mediate
damage, because
damage.
I have literally nothing else going for me here. And then I'm like, fuck it, we'll play the Lancelot.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's a board you fill it up with, especially in this late of the game. So.
And then, no point going into Limit Break because I don't have enough cards to facilitate the combo.
Yep.
And then I'm just like... I'm gonna go Dead Breaks before I do anything, and then Swing Flip. And then he just Serpents the Lyric, obviously. So I'm
Would...
playing on a weird clock where I have to kill him.
Yeah.
He has 2 cloth here, by the way.
Okay.
This is
At this
noted.
point. Yeah,
He has 2 cloth now.
yeah.
How do you feel about the situation, Tom? And like, we'll go from about...
I wouldn't have done the dead attacks against Tamagoro Freeze.
I think I agree with you in hindsight. I was just
Just
super
cautious.
because I was willing to forfeit my board because I knew my card quality was still there. Because there were certain cards in my deck I hadn't seen yet.
Yeah. So the
certain techs in my deck I hadn't seen yet, which I was like playing around at that point.
so the yeah.
Also, how would you regard board state? Because he and I were under agreement. Because he noticed the thing I noticed.
I think it's
I win on my next time.
yeah, because you still have Glory Grill, right? No, I couldn't tell.
I win on my up tap because I should be able to.
Force Ray. Yeah.
I can force Ray.
Yeah, you can force Ray.
Even if he can't, even if it discards my hand, it doesn't matter. I can clear 2 of his board. I can clear 2 of his zones at this point.
Yeah.
Because I clearly am in position to clear his board.
Yeah.
Like, he saw that like my card quality was still pretty high, all things considered, and I was playing an engine able to facilitate it.
Yeah.
I also still had Akino.
Yeah, and that's still pretty good.
Still having the Akino is what makes the impact.
Yeah, because by having that Akino, even if you were to grow, Evan, you can still pay the ender to grab a PG. The PG is not for like the guarding against the Vanguard attack. It's just there as a body, just to like punch.
He realizes, despite how aggressive I'm being right now, I'm not ever concerned because I can just represent because
lethal.
I do have ways to facilitate lethal, even if he discards my hand. And I was showing that throughout the entirety of the round, like the last couple of turns. Like I have the op into lethal. Right? Yeah,
I think that's the correct setup, especially if you were to go into like especially in a catch-up game where you have to like catch up on damage. That like fill up the board, punch him really fast as well. It didn't work on you, but now you're playing that game right here. It also helped out that like you can consistently like deal 2 to 3 damage each turn. Adds a lot more pressure.
Way to react defensively.
No.
So I do just have a way to kill him, and he doesn't actually like on my next turn, and he doesn't have the breaks.
No.
I want to actually facilitate something.
I don't think he has any more breaks. No. Because I think
it's very clear, just based on looking at like what I've seen through his cycle through his deck, that I do win if I go into my up tap. Then he pulls out that piece, and then all of a sudden I lost the game. Because I need to be able to shut down 2 attacks.
Which one was it? Oh, Hampai.
Piece that shatters 2 frozen.
Ooh. That one.
That's when
yeah.
The moment I realized
Fudge. I mean, yeah, it's sad, but at the same time, it's like 5 enter is like harsh. But surprisingly, with Waffle, because of that, you can play with it.
Yeah,
Waffle's amazing in a freeze control deck.
This break decides everything, and that's game.
Yep.
And we both knew that was game.
Yeah.
Because I had no way. Unless that is exactly 1 card, I lose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then we're talking, and I'm like, I just concede there because that's game. And then we're joking about this, and then like this is actually where we're talking about, I believe. Like I'll actually unmute this for a second.
Sure. Oh wait, hold on. Give me a second. I have to unmute your end as well, or my end as well.
We're good. We're gonna go to battle phase.
No reaction.
Okay. And
that 100% came down. I feel like not having level 1s at the start of that game was so
perfect.
Mold 5 because my opening hails, like I run 9 3s. So for reference, I opened 4 3s in a spell. Like, and the spell was deafening Inferno, so I couldn't even like. Oh, so that was what
Oh my.
Yeah.
That definitely sucks. Now.
Yeah, like the Mold 5 was the auto play. It was an auto Mold 5, and I think that's what hard played the game right there. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We were talking, and like I think we both did come to the assumption. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh well. Don't worry too much about it.
Yeah. But yeah, congratulations on being a feature match. Even though it was like the worst, like play wise. But yeah.
Like I've always wanted to be a feature match, and then I brick on it.
Yeah.
Of course that happens.
I also gotta set this up now.
But overall, I'll briefly go into my last 2 matches. Moment I lose, I run into Harana, so I lose again.
Yep.
Again, Harana just being my worst matchup. There's a little more to it, a little bit of breaking, but there's like, ultimately, nothing on my opponent. Ultimately, like, he did not want me to record the game, so I opted not. So obviously I do not. And then it's just like, again, it's just Harana and the Ray. I think Harana is a comically good matchup in the Ray.
Yeah.
We are both playing the same pieces. He just has, like, but I don't. But like his once per turn is killer. Or once per game is game ending compared to me.
Yeah, because yours is more of a a setup.
And Harana 3 box out Harana Stain. Just unironically.
Yeah, because everyone keeps on forgetting. I'm like, oh right, +2 on attacking signies doesn't.
On attacking, so
yeah.
I do get the result.
You get the result, yeah.
I remember him talking to me about that too. again, I just like I think it's just a good matchup on his end.
Yeah.
Because, but hey, we'll just draw PGs. Guess I.
Yeah,
Um,
it happens.
and
Just
then
drawing multiple
game 7, I
PGs.
finally ran into a Nova player, and so I won.
Yep.
Nothing on him. Like, he was a cool dude. Very cool dude, actually. Like I've mentioned, I think I just have a comically good Nova matchup.
Yeah. Because I think I was.
That was my glory run. Ended up 13th place.
It's pretty
Top
good.
16, win the playmat. Woo!
Ooh.
Only thing about it is, I wish we got to play it out.
Yeah.
If we got to play it out, everyone. Honestly, funny thing, if we got to play it out, like the whole controversy wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Like there were still problems with the event overall, with like top 16 only, despite like an extra 50 pool.
Yeah.
Like the only unique thing we're getting are playmats in comparison to like.
I think like.
Like it's just painful. Like they're good bads. I thought it was actually ran fine. Again, I just wish we had a top cut played it out.
Yeah.
Solves a majority of the problems of top cut played it out.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what happened when we used the Bushy software.
Well, even then, Bushy software has like they've done a cut. They've done like they've done a cut, and then they also let people play it out. This one was just really like
So Bushy Road does let you
they.
play out, or does
Yeah.
play out top 8.
Yeah.
But the point is, their tournament software essentially is the same. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same software that WIXOSS is using. And so I have my own story about this. So I actually, like, the 9th place fighter, Madison Kim,
I
was
think so, yeah.
undefeated until last round, like, for reference. And then lost the last round, got dropped to 9th place.
Yeah, it's a big kick.
Really unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, and this actual thing happened to me in Cardinals. So, I understand, and I 100% do. I was super pissed off. And then if we hit top 8, my team and I genuinely think we won. Because we were very good and only lost to, admittedly, the team that beat us was the undefeated team. The only reason we lost to them was because I got sacked. Like, there's no better way to put it. Guy was great. Guy was awesome. He was a pro. Like, and even he admitted, like, I just kind of got lucky. And then one of my teammates, essentially bricked as bad as I did, as we just saw. I did on the match. Except worse. It's like having a handful of level 3s.
Oh,
He
God.
has to pass on 1 and 2.
Oh, geez. But yeah. Ali was.
Just sucked because there was nothing we could have done, and then we win every other match, and then we got lopped in 10th place. Like, we didn't even get the salty 9th.
Okay.
We were very pissed off about it, so we actually like attempted to stop the entirety of the tournament to like get this going because it didn't make sense to us, and they're like, it does make sense, and then they had to explain how their software works.
Yeah.
So their software works on. So I have a little bit of insight because of my situation. The software for Bushiroad, and I think it works the same way as WIXOSS, is not your placement into people with records.
Yeah.
Is not actually based on who beat.
No.
It is based off, and like, because we've told the story, so Robert knows. It is based off whether or not the people you beat dropped. So this is something I don't think the WIXOSS community knows when they're like talking about it. This is like all of that is the software's problem, not due to
like
Artemac, not due to Tony. This is actually the software's problem. The software checks whether or not the opponents you beat are still playing the game, and if they had dropped and when they dropped, and they place you based on whether or not how many people dropped, and I think it goes down a certain list to like. If they dropped, when they dropped, kind of a situation.
Yeah.
But, so essentially, I can be XO, and all the way up to the very end.
Yeah.
Lose the final round, like, as we saw. But if every player I beat dropped,
Yeah.
I dropped down to, like, 6th, 17th.
Yeah.
So, this is actually not a, like, so this is something I can't, like, the only thing we can fault them for is using the software.
Yeah.
this actually doesn't have anything specifically to do with I think Cartomagia, because they don't really have control. They're doing what they're told. Like, ultimately, we should change the software I think we use for WIXOSS, and we should agree. I do agree with playing it top out. I'm a player who, if I top, I want to play it out because I want the chance to win, because luck is a factor in a game like WIXOSS, in a game like Vanguard, in a game like Weiss. Like, as much as like the whole point of the game is to control your luck, we're controlling luck. You can only get so far.
Yeah. So
I agree with like top cut, play it out. Like, hell, if I literally scrubbed out a top, if I landed the exact same spot, if I landed 16th, like, fuck, I don't care. But like, you gave me the chance to play for first.
yeah. So
I want the chance, and like, and like, to be fair, if I work my ass off to hit top cut, I deserve the chance to win, to try and win.
yeah.
Because like, and that's kind of how I feel, and it's especially in a situation like this where like second place gets into the 9th, he still is in the running.
Yeah. So the thing is that I can give a little bit more insight into is that most people in Japan card games don't really drop. They just want to just play games. So the software accounts is a very different for like a Western audience where people will just drop and do other things and all that other stuff. So it's a very stark contrast to like how you would do it as program wise. Sure, you can use like a different program for like a Western audience, but like they should, but it does like it makes it uncomfortable from like a Japanese like company, because Japan, even though they're like pretty like go forwarding on like technology and animations, still carry like fax machines and like their factories and all that fun stuff. So they're kind of just behind on the times still. It's really hard.
I think in this situation, it's not that being behind on the times.
No, it is a lot on behind on the times.
A handshake to keep playing.
Yeah.
Just because they want to play, whereas if you're playing a game competitively, like, and you scrub out O2, like.
Yeah, that's
I spent $100 to travel to like New York. Fuck it, I'm exploring New York.
Yeah. So the thing is that like it's a big difference, like mindset wise, because Japan is really different. I will tell that.
A lot of players will disagree, but if we plan on using the software, you need to change the number of rounds you force players to play to it.
Yeah, I would.
And I do definitely agree with increasing.
Yeah, I do agree in like a change in prize construction is the biggest thing. I definitely would like prize entry should not.
I think Top Cut will create incentive. Because I think that's why like everything's windowed so hard. It's just because it's like the first one was the first one, and then it's like there's probably a dwindle on the second one, but like people just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then it's noticeable because the third one hit the cap, right? Like I don't know what the cap for the first two were.
No, I think the second one definitely hit the cap, and then because they were getting a second one,
hit the cap, and then
the third one got an extension.
To roughly 200 players?
I think around 275. Yeah.
So I think it's a combination of like multiple things, but that's the point here.
Well, I think it's my advice to that was like just like lower the price, like lower the entry. Like $35 is not a easy.
I get that like they're paying for international shipping.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that much, you can just increase the prize pool.
Yeah.
Increase the prize pool.
Yeah, like being able to like.
Am I happy I walk away with like a map that there's 16 of in like the world?
Yeah.
Maybe 32. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I walk away with an incredibly rare playmat. Like I collect playmats. That's awesome to me. Like, this playmat's worth hundreds of dollars. Like I don't know what this playmat's worth realistically because I couldn't find it online. I actually went to go look up the prices for it, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely is that, but I think it's like.
Like, do I plan on selling it? By the way, the answer is no. I will never sell this playmat.
And that's the thing. Is that like it's like a sure it's like it's money worth it to go into it and having those things, but like for you have to top and then with no way to indicate who would top in a relatively large prize in for it, it's still a lot. Like it's
as you saw, X1s weren't safe, and to be fair, I went into the tournament knowing
Yeah.
I think a lot of people probably weren't aware.
No,
didn't understand how
No,
the structure
structure-
of the system worked.
Mm.
I was already under the impression when we entered, and Bob probably had it.
Yeah, because I was like,
it was going to be similar to how Bushiroad treats their system,
mhm.
and which was like which was going to be based on player participation for overall, which is bad because it punishes
like,
the top tables
Yeah.
for being better than their opponents.
yeah, it's
That's
a
the sad part.
it's a harsher
Running
check.
into bad players really early on in your run.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like, and I don't mean to insult someone.
No.
There's no like, so please don't like take this out of context. There's no better way to put it though. It punishes the strong for beating up on the weak.
Yeah.
And then the weak doing something better with their time, like they honestly 100% should. I'm not saying they shouldn't be forced to like playing it out, but like that's 100% like how the system works. Past round 3, no one has an incentive to stay there, so especially if we're starting at like 6 in the fucking morning. Like,
Yeah.
our time it start,
I think it was
I
like
up at
7.
6, tournament started at 8. Like,
Yeah.
I was up at 8. Like, I was up at 6 in the morning. Like, by the time round 3 hit, it was like 10 o'clock. Like, I still had plenty of time to go hang out with my friends. Like,
Yeah.
Right? Like, we had time to go to our local game store and play because our locals play on Saturdays. Like, we could have done something if all 3 of us had 3 shuffles.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that like I have to explain that it was like so if you were to see changes into like the system or anything like that, you don't expect it immediately. I would say like a year or 2 for sure, because Japanese policy is.
Software, but that's not.
I wouldn't even expect that. I would expect only the change in software to be in like a year or 2 because it's Japanese. Because Japan like companies are like very like they will not change very quickly.
I don't know how much of an influence Carta Magia has. Tournaments, like the actual tournaments, don't get us wrong. But and this is going to you guys specifically, like Carta Magia, like and oh my god, this oh my god, move this please.
Okay.
And what like the admin whose name I'm like actively hunting for and don't remember.
Yeah. Like it's not on your guys' fault. I don't blame you guys at all. It's on the company.
Like you guys need to. I don't know how much of an influence you have on the tournament, or if you have the right to alter the tournament software. But you guys you guys are the ones with the ability to do something. And that's what it comes down to. I think it comes down to,
yeah.
Because what are their names? Like,
Yeah.
like Alexander and David Jewell. What you guys need to do is realistically use different software. Like the Yu-Gi-Oh software, the Magic software, God forbid. No, not the Vanguard software, it's the same fucking I swear to God. But this is like the best way to prevent like that situation from happening again. The other way would
I think there's 2 ways to do it. You can use a different software and sure that's an easy fix, but at the same time I think like it desensitizes like a healthy community as well. Because if you go to like a very like high competitive tournament, it's like yeah, it matters, like it does, but we're all here for funs and games, and most Japanese companies with card games do see that as a way, or once again just like restructure the prize pool a bit.
But English doesn't view it the same way.
No, that's the biggest difference between an English audience versus a Japanese audience. It's a very big difference.
As a spike, we'll use the Magic term.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I went 03. Fuck, I can do something better with the rest of my day.
Yeah.
Why the hell would I, like, especially when you're, like, or even like me who can get incredibly tilted incredibly fast. Like, if I, like, scrub out super hard, super early, I could stay here tilted and fuck and ruin the entirety of the tournament. Or I could go do something with my life.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's kind of, again, it's just, I feel like I'm iterating the same point, but it's kind of what it just comes down to. It's like, we have a different mindset than Japan. Japan will just be there to be there. America won't, and that's kind of just something you have to recognize.
Because that's the biggest thing is that like I have to I don't want to just defend on Japan, but I want to like give that insight because even Vanguard, like it's Vanguard tournaments are not just like a singular like big tournament. It's like a big event. So like that's why like if you were to do like so the biggest thing with the Spring Fest or anything like that, they want to be something like really like big and festive, but that's like a telegraphing between two different things. Because
Actually, let's take ERA.
yeah,
So there were roughly the same number. Like there was a
Yeah.
solid hard drop off in participants
Mhm.
after like the longer the round progressed.
yeah.
People kept dropping because again, it's an online thing.
Yeah.
Like I may not have things to travel, but I could do something.
Yeah, like you can just
Right?
do something
Like,
else. Yeah, and then
just how the mindset of like English players are in comparison to Japanese players. I can sit there and play around, like
yeah,
or I could sit there, learn, and do something else with my time, prep for the next event maybe if I'm traveling more
Yeah.
locations. Or I could go detail I'm on vacation. I'm gonna go do something because like that's the thing. Like people like my team,
yeah,
we go on vacation for like a week and a half, like or like a week whenever we go travel for regionals. Like we set an extended period of time so we can go chill and have fun and explore the place. Like if we scrub out early, we literally
Yeah.
go into town and do something. Like hell, I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember. Like in Philadelphia, we scrubbed out early and it
Yeah,
was
just
like
tour
the
around
RT
and-
Nationals, and I think like 2017.
yeah.
So we just went and did something. We went to Philly.
Yeah, like
Went to
it's
Philly,
a
like
it's hard to judge between that because I've seen enough of Japanese Japanese companies like with their ideas and all that, and it's a little harder. It's the only one that has like changed dramatically is Bushiroad. It's like I hate to admit it, but Papa Bushiroad, even though they have a lot of like problems. It's I believe that's just a generic like game software, but like Papa Bushiroad, I hate to do this, but Papa Bushiroad has treated their player game base very well in comparison to like other like Japanese card games.
That's true. Going back on that same topic, the regional I was at when I was 18, where I got dropped from second place to ninth. To be honest, if we had known that was how that worked, and half the teams we beat dropped out, we legit would have dropped out of the tournament right then and there, walked across the street and went to Disney World. Because we were literally across the street from Disney World. And we all agreed that if we dropped out early, we went to Disney World. But
Yeah.
we went X1 under the false hope and assumption that, the team that beat us was undefeated. So we're
Yeah,
guaranteed top 8 if we go X1, right?
yeah.
And then we scrubbed out of 9. We got the scrub out of like 9th or 10th. So we wasted our entire day playing out the rest of our rounds because we thought we had a chance.
Yeah.
And realistically, we never did.
But yeah. All right. Another.
Which is the worst part. It's false hope, and this is just like a situation. This is to me just a repeat of what happened to me 4 years ago. I've seen this before.
Like it's a little
I can
different.
tell you here, we were very pissed off for like months.
Yeah. Because I think, yeah. But I think enough of this sad topic. Let us move on.
Yeah, let's go on to Robert's game.
Oh.
I'm here to
Yeah.
criticize the fuck out of him now.
That is perfectly okay. I am pretty sure I will get criticized all day. So this is indeed muted. But these will be uploaded unmuted on the YouTube. So if you want to check that out, you can go to the YouTubes. Check those out. You can hear me do some small conversations, unedited of course, because I don't want to edit all of them. They're probably like half an hour games and all that fun stuff. So definitely we'll go through that, and we'll go through that as soon as I load things up.
I actually have not seen his game.
Yep. And then we will not do. So we will. I have all my rounds. Round 3 is not posted up, just because my opponent asked me to not do anything with it. So
Is there one more you were mentioning?
no, it was just round 3. Everything else is life. So.
I thought that was one where a guy messaged you not to.
Oh, that was round 3.
Oh, that was okay.
That was round 3. But we'll start with round 1. Once again, because it was so long, I believe it was 10 minutes on your end. I think it was also 10 minutes on my end.
I'll be back in a second, don't worry.
Yeah, you're good. Oh, wait. I think it was only 5 minutes on my end because we had a small, like, discussion about, like, making sure things go off. And then, yeah, didn't take as forever. So I believe we also decided to go see who goes first. We did our moles. I have a little bit of a better setup. Hopefully it looks a little bit cleaner. I made mine a little bit smaller than my opponents. Just because it was just me like playing my games and I was going to dialogue in.
Robert is on the bottom right because of A, his card sleeves.
Yep.
And B, we checked setups as like throughout the tournament, so we were like hard checking each other's setups. So we just kind of, so I could just tell you based on his setup.
Yep. And
Also
then
no sleeves.
yep.
Also-
I will tell you that round 1 was against MC Lion.
Wait, what the? Is this Bang Dream?
No. That's MC Lion. They're all the sleeping bed promos though.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, so like it was like, oh, it's like here we are. So game by play was this. Cuckoo. And then doing such things as that. Alright. So then he just did the usual plays and then charge 2. And then right here he just plays the Hanyo. Shout out to my opponents is really cool as well. Everyone was really chill. I definitely enjoyed. Everyone was just like super chill and had like really fun conversations. And then yeah, he did a double Hanyo play. And I was like, yep, here we are. I have my Spring Fresh token in the middle because it was really cool. It helps indicate the center and be like, oh, I'll just put my. Yeah, I was like, I kept putting mine.
Somewhere in the abyss, I
Yeah.
got behind him.
So yeah, I believe I enter charge here. It is a royal blue. Grown to that. Went, oops, sorry about that, because I thought I preset it properly. I did not. And then I was like, sorry about that. And here we are, fixing it real quick. And then proceeding to the rest of the game, like the scrub I am. Random drain on turn 1. Charging the royal blade usually indicates half the time I am doing a random drain. And then we're just deciding on how to do the things with that fella, just with 1 die. And then doing some weird shenanigans, but we'll just say like reroll on this. And it's like, yep, here we are. We'll just do it on reroll. Because I was being like, I'll just cycle for the hand because it makes it like easier. And like queen efficiency, so I was like, reroll is like, I always hate rerolling it. And then it's 4 indicating from his left to his right. And then it was like trying to indicate like number wise, and it's like, yep. So there's that. Draw the 1 from there. And then from here, I believe I grew into Bang. Nope, I grew into Tamagoro. I believe I grew into that because I needed 1s. So it's like,
No, I believe it.
yeah. Because I don't play a lot of 1s in this deck, if I remember right. No, I didn't need to grow into Bang because I didn't need anything that needed enter. So I always grow into Tamagoro. Because I will just establish sports state. And then that and also playing a servant on turn 1. I was like, because I had a servant in hand already, but I needed more 1s. Luckily I had 2. Wasn't too bad. Killing the Hanyo. Because there was no point of like, if I left the Hanyo alone, he always will have it. He'll just end up charging it away anyways. It already did his job.
He has an interesting board setup, I'll give him that.
He does. So it's he has an actual like webcam now. In the pre-talk, he did talk about like, yeah, so I'm an artist. So he is an artist. It was really cool to play against an artist. Mm-hmm. And then he had this was the opponent that was also in Bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Lulu mat.
Yeah, there's a Lulu mat. And it was like,
I
yeah.
remember seeing this Lulu mat in the feature match.
Yeah.
In a feature match at some point, so this guy made it far, right?
I believe so at some point. But it's definitely like, yeah, I did like that. And then I was recording from like my iPad, and I was like, oh no. I was like, So it was like extra like weirdly like angled. So now he has bought like a proper webcam. I was like, cool. But yeah, and then the Lancelot, I believe he kills my 5k. Yes. He does ask for like a lot of my unit's powers, and I was like, oh, this man kind of knows what he's doing. So it's definitely a couple of that. So, but yeah, a lot of my games, I think recorded wise, did end up being like 30-35 minutes. So I think it was like every game that I've ever played with everybody, because I play it like fairly like slow. Like I abuse time as like a player fundamentally. Because it'd be like
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I was like, why do you abuse it so much?
One of your testing partners.
Yeah.
You don't have to remind. You hit the.
I did do it on the break, so it is a down freeze. Discard on 1. Discarding Deafening Inferno makes sense. Attacking with that, I believe I also PG here because I actually did need to like reduce the number of damage because I assumed on different lines as well. Because I believe because I was also like semi surprised he didn't do a scratch. Because I was under the deception of those little like scratches. So I was like, huh, that's weird.
Scratch for the double crush.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. He didn't. So he played a.
He has a different lineup, and that's surprisingly half of my matchups into like Lion is everyone had a different lineup on like Rabbit, or Love It. So right here I energize 2.
Like that's the thing. Like, and this is the curse part going forward for us, just in general.
Yeah.
We need every Elrig in the game.
Yeah.
Each.
Yeah.
Fucking each.
And then yeah, now he has 0 cards in hand because of that break on that random drain as well. So it does that. Next, I believe I played the Haniel. And then I played it intentionally in front of the, if I remember right, the Lancelot? No, I flipped it at this point. No, this should be in front of the Haniel. Because I was playing it, like, differently. Because I would have flipped myself around real quick. It's very weird watching this backwards. And then grabs the Rocket Girl! And then the Rocket Girl has done so much work. Surprisingly, I was like, yep, Rocket Girl has grabbed me Zhao Yu, which is like really important. And I was like, yep, it's a body that you can't get rid of.
At least some easily.
No, it's very hard to do it in Card Jockey as well. It's harder.
Saying, if I stick a dude, like, I just
yeah.
win.
Yep. And then right here we go into combats. And then right now this will punch into the Haniel. This will punch in with this next because I want the Akupuku alive. I intentionally did that because I could have just like swung like everything straight across, but then breaks are real. So this one is bounce it up Signy or you draw a card. So he draws a card there. And then yep, pass the turn. Yeah, and I believe I said 6 cards in my hand. No, 5. There is indeed 5. Because I also like to fiddle with my hand a lot. I was like, so then he grows into level 3. Chooses 2. I believe he's picking up 2. He dumps a Athena and a level 1. So I was like, okay, cool. And then plays that. This is an interesting tech. I didn't think they would play it. It's a level 2 that says if you play in the middle, you can enter charge 1. It's an interesting tech. Yeah. I did end of the turn here because I believe he has only 3 cards in his hand. And then just to stop getting him more digging and sorting through. So this forces him to make different numbers. Then right here, I believe he plays a Penlight. If I remember correctly. Oh, no. Now I remember from... Yeah, he still plays the Penlight. So here's the biggest difference. They play into that... he plays the Trial Deck one, which is you just banish an 8k or less. on your opponent's board. Yeah.
Definite?
Oh no, it just banishes a... No, it banishes a level 2 or less.
It's not a bad one.
It's not bad. I was just caught off surprise because I was like, oh, I was like, removal. I was like, instead of the life cloth, and I was like, interesting. They did that. And that caught me off guard, and I believe that is probably why it was like, I was cautious with that 10k body, because I wanted to place the 10k body just in case of like some scenarios like this or anything like that. And then, yeah, just having pen lights hurt the deck a little bit more. Here is the removal piece, which also semi-surprised me because he has he packed removal into his piece. I was like, whoa, that's rare. So right now he's just clearing like all my lanes right here. So he's a lot more like, he has a lot more removal than he would anything else. So then he's playing Endless Punchline, and he's going for it. I had no.
Under my opinion, you've been able to consistently clear his board, and the fact that you like you're at 6-0. Well, here's the thing. I think he does this incredibly early into the game. Right? Like,
Yeah.
He did this way too early.
Yeah. Because that's the thing is that, like, you, after, like...
I get he's just trying to force Elric damage on you, but you also revealed Royal Blue on turn 1.
Yeah.
So I think, again, you just did this so early for what feels like a terrible reason. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's not wrong. He did see that I had problems on turn 1, because I did for that on, like, a servant, just to cover body. But that doesn't hurt me in the long run, because I can always search for servants.
The problem is, ultimately, that's so much... Like, he burned his single most important resource into this matchup so ridiculously early on. Because you had 6 cloth going into that turn?
Yes. I did have 6 cloth.
So he's doing it, what, to catch up?
Yeah, I believe...
He needs it. What the hell was that?
That was a PRJ. No, that was just a PRJ.
That was a congratulations, PRJ. I did not know that.
No, I think that was just a regular one. I can back it up real quick.
I'll look like a regular one.
I think it was just the foiling was like a little awkward. Yeah, it's a regular one. Yeah. So I'm taking 3. Surprisingly, I had no PGs in my hand. Because I think if I had 1, it would have been nice. Oh no, I only had the 1. I would have preferred to be on 2. Because it would comfortably get me to like 4. Now I'm on 3, which is like a little like nerve-wracking. And then his pen light is active. So I would have to pay 2 enter to attack with it. To attack with my Elrig.
But you just remove the card, so it doesn't matter.
No. It's a permanent effect. It targets your Elrig.
Oh.
Yeah. So my Elrig will inherit the skill.
Solo removes a card, though, doesn't it?
Solo gives you Lancer. It doesn't remove the card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that ability procs at the end of your opponent's... at the end of your turn. So there's no way to get around it. Unless you have, like, removal on your Grow. But as the Nova deck, you don't carry removal on your Grows. Yeah, so right here is giving Lancer, I believe...
Well, he's also just targeting your center, so...
Yeah.
Doesn't... Wait, you grew your center, though, so it doesn't...
No. So, like, it inherently gives it... Like, it gives it continuously. Yeah, Penlight is like... Oh, no, because it triggers on... It gives it to... It triggers on your attack step.
Oh, okay.
But it's a continuous skill.
I thought you had a window to kill it.
No, it's an auto ability that gives it continuously, and it only will trigger during the attack step. So it's like Vermilion Kaiser warding. It sucks.
Wow,
Like,
weird.
yeah. Yep. And then we have a 3-2-2 split. Do the piece. Do the once per game. Try to grab as many PGs as I can. It's like, pin like triggers. It's like, yep, that's okay. confirming with that what we're wording as that as well. I was like, okay. Yeah. But yeah. So there is like an insight lining into it. I didn't know how to rule it at the time. But so there's like two kinds of rulings for this. It depends on like how the head judges was. It's always like every time I lose is like either like I am behind by one step or there's like a finicky rule that I didn't want to go through, especially on like on a time on like how time extensions work and like the time, especially on the first match as well. I'll explain it here. So like Kome says you can remove all effects on your Vanguard when it resands. So does that remove Penlight skill, which is like the weirdest thing. So there's some things in like the server. I would have, but this was at the time where it was like I already abused my time already like so much. Like I didn't know how like overtime like settles in and all that.
I
Yeah.
still would have called the judge.
I probably could have as well, but I think I just decided to be like, all right, I'll just play super safe, just to make sure that like I get the most time as I can, because I believe I had just enough to play catch up right here. Because like even now, like I put him down to 0 life cloth. And then I even have 3 spare life cloths still. Oh no, I put him down to 2. I put him down to 2. And that's like, okay, that's still enough to give me another turn with 3 life cloth. And then I made him discard his hand. Did the Novas. So I was comfortable being on the one PG with 0 cards in his hand. Yep. And then me drawing 2. Because I was pretty comfortable on mine. Because now he has 0 cards in hand. I was like, alright, I'm pretty comfortable. Even if I don't pay No, so essentially I didn't want to restand as well. Because I needed the 2 just in case for a PRJ. Because I want to at least use like 1 Sentinel at least. Because I can like, sure, if he does this once per game, he does it. And I was like, cool. I was like,
safe on center because you solo.
Yeah, because I also solo. And then I was like, alright, this is like pretty comfortable. I was like, I'm pretty comfortable right here. I'm on 3, he's on 2. I did the thing solo, close it off. I was like, alright, plays the PRJ. I was like, cool. I have enough energy to do a PRJ. To like survive on that. So I was like, oh yeah.
Until your opponent finds a way to flip the script.
Yeah, so
I don't actually remember when you win and lost. Or when you lost and when you won. Now, I know you won like 3, but
yeah. And then that has a plus 4K. Plays the Penlight.
Makes sense.
Yep.
He is not full grown though.
He is indeed not full grown.
Both of his sides are level 1, right?
No, it's a level 2 is the other one. Because it negated 1 damage.
Makes sense. Lancer does not prevent negate damage, by the way.
Nope.
So you can forfeit the Lancer trigger. Did you have to explain that, or?
No. Did he take... Yeah, he took the one from the Lancer, right?
He took the one from the Lancer, and then nothing should have been affected by the prevent damage, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I think yeah. Because it was only by attacks, not by effect. Yep. And then I ran during the last one, and I was like, cool. Down and freeze.
Draw.
Yep. And discard that. Yep.
And then
it was like, cool. Move to the next step.
Why didn't he stand his Vanguard? Or why was his Vanguard down? Did you flip blue?
No. So he already did that. Endless Punchline already. So I already PG'd it.
Yeah.
And I did pay. No, I took the damage here because I was still like fairly comfortable onto it. I should, in hindsight, I really should have negated that unit. In hindsight, I should have, but I think I needed it for the enter right here. Because I needed the enter I needed the green enter, if I believe it's right. I needed the enter for the PRJ, if I couldn't clear PRJ.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I was like, alright, I need the enter just in case. No, I need the enter for Penlight, because Penlight was active, because they did cast a spell.
He has a card in hand?
He has a card in hand.
Yeah, that's pretty safe here.
Yeah.
He clears board, swing once, get damage off, and then swings low rig.
Yep.
Pitch their servant, guarantee damage.
Yep.
Pen lights out. Yep.
Yep.
This deck was definitely designed to snipe you.
This definitely was.
It taxes you to guard and taxes you to swing.
Yeah, that's a lot. A lot of the decks I fought against it were doing that exactly.
And you still won
Yeah.
most of them.
I did.
Because they just played death and taxes.
Yeah.
And they could have just played better Elrit. Or better servants in the deck.
I think it's not wrong to play Death and Taxes against my deck doesn't like a typical like Nova list is like it plays like super smurf on mana.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So right here is go into combat. And it's like, alright, cool. And I was like, yep, have to do this. Clear PRJ because I need to clear PRJ for on the defense. Attacks with
I
that.
think you cleared 3 PRJ at this point.
Yep. And he triggers a servant here, which is like fuck.
Salvage is the servant.
Yeah, salvages the servant.
Which is the correct decision,
Yep.
but he didn't kill Ichikiru, so you lock out the game on the next turn.
Yep. And then he triggers a good
He
dig.
took it.
Yeah, I was like, ugh. I was like, ugh.
Also, he hasn't grown level 2 yet.
No.
Not disturbed.
Yeah.
Fuck, why are all of your games a grind fest, Bob?
It's so disgusting, I know.
Kind of is.
Yeah, and then he got to hang off of it, and I was like, oh god, please.
Christ.
So I was like, oh no, this is over. He has a body.
And he searches.
And he searches. So he's
He
like,
grows here, he attempts to limit break.
yeah.
So he's digging, I think, for his last PRJ.
He can't grab the PRJ with Haniel. I think he's just grabbing a unit. And it was like Lancelot, and I was like, yep, that makes sense. And 6
That's
stars.
a shit, but he's just looking for
It's fitting at this point.
Yeah, at this point he's hunting PRJ.
Yeah, he's trying to go for the stack.
His only condition is PRJ here.
Yep.
And then you add the servant, draw 1.
Yep. Grab that Shiguryu.
You only have 1 PRJ left in deck somewhere. And then he asks
Yeah.
the servant here where he does. So if he doesn't draw exactly PRJ within the next this turn, he loses. Because he has to grow and then lion for game.
Yep.
That is the only actual way he has a way to win the game here.
Yep.
And he has to do that and clear your board.
Yep. And he does the enter there.
Makes sense because he needs to find a way to clear your board and burn for these 2 damage.
Yep.
So he needs to connect twice and then lion.
Yep.
It's not impossible,
Yep.
but it's not.
And then it goes like 1, 2,
What the fuck's going
3,
on?
4, 5, 6. And then he grows into his offensive crossfade. And I was like, fuck. I was like,
What the fuck does this one do?
oh no, it's the same thing. Crossfade, it banishes, but he pays
Oh, it's
this.
the attack one.
It's the attack one.
Why don't you just use it on defense and prevent damage?
The thing is that,
Why
yeah.
Why don't people just use it defensively?
Yeah, like you can do it defensively as well. I think they intentionally did that offensively. Because they'd be like, oh, you're on 2. I'm like, alright, I guess I just do it offensively. And I have all this in
Yeah,
there.
like people use it offensively
Yeah.
so much. Like the best part is crushing your, triggering your opponent's
Yep.
offensive or defensive life cloth offensively.
Offensively. Yep.
Like that fucks your opponent over so badly.
Yeah.
Actually, what the hell do you do in this situation, Bob? That's the real question.
I pray he doesn't have a second PRJ. So,
No, because theory. Oh, you need 3 PGs to survive.
I need 2.
You need 3.
Yeah.
Unless your opponent doesn't know how to play the game.
Well, he swings for 1. I knew for sure there was 1 servant in.
No, because Lion's active.
Yeah. Lion is indeed
If I
active.
was him, I would place Kumi if he has access to Kumi, and then place literally anything else. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Swing PRJ, so it yes.
Yep. And then.
This is like a situation where this card matters so fucking much.
Yep.
Can
I
he
was.
pay exceed 4? No, he can't.
No. But he grabs the second PRJ. I was like, yep.
Do you lose this one?
I did
I
lose.
actually remember.
I did lose this one. I will let you guys know. I did lose this one. The second PRJ seals the fate.
Oh, so this guy was at top tables. Okay. That's why I was like confused. I thought
Yeah.
you won this for some reason.
No.
Yeah, so the thing is, that PRJ looks like it was like a congratulations one, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Is that actually his PRJ's art?
No. And then now he does it once per game. I was like, yep.
Yep, that's the Cure's game.
Yep.
If he did fight exactly.
If he
like
didn't
PRJ,
VGA, I would probably be fine. It's like,
Did you have 3 PGs in hand?
I believe I had 2.
Okay, so if that last break is a way to salvage, you are set.
I believe it was a
If
way.
it's a removal
Yeah.
spell, you're set.
Yeah. Nope. Yep. I've been attacking with that because I needed one more enter. Or on one PRJ I was fine. On 2 PRJs I can only do 1. I can only
I
guard
don't know why
once.
you bother guarding at that point.
I entertained the thought. It's like,
Oh god, you stalled the stall. Well, fuck.
I mean, I did it for content, so yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm like, go, that's game. I was like, I knew it was game, and like, I'll do it just to like show. I was like, because I was like, I'm a content creator. I do this for content. Because like, it teaches people. Like, it's like, hey, remember that like Lion has a skill is like if the attack doesn't connect, it will restand. And I was like, I will show the content to do it. Like, I didn't throw it because I knew I was dying when he found the second PRJ. I'm like, yep. I was like, so that was game 1.
You played that decently well. You stabilized
Yeah.
out of a bad situation.
It was-
And you still...
It was still like really rough on that end. So from there, I started from table 12, and then I went down to table 60, which was like the last table. I was like, oh no, and then I'm climbing my way back up again. So we will now go on to game 2. What's up? So- No, you're good. So game 2. Small chats here and there, trying to figure out. I was like, hey, nice to meet you. What are you doing? I was like, cool things. I was like, cool. And then shuffling real quick. And I was like, yep. Just small dialogues. I believe this goes on to like a couple like minutes. Do the pre-shuffles.
Which is fine.
Yep. And then he did no. So the thing that really threw me off was like all his things were in the same sleeve and like fuck. I was like,
Ooh, baby, someone's gonna get their ass fucking auto DQ.
it's okay. I just came to play games, and then even if I did something pretty cool, we did something pretty cool. So it's like I'm not the guy who will like shark people. Be like, fine, as long as we don't mix up stuff, we're fine. It's like,
Oh, no. They are legally allowed to be clean. I just want him to fucking flip the top card of his deck and reveal a...
yeah, to be like an Elric card. They can't be as
Elric.
so.
Then go judge.
Yeah, that one I'm fine calling a judge. But so right here is yeah. So right here is another card jockey deck. This time with Love It as the center.
I
Biggest.
did not play against this one.
Yeah, you did not. I definitely remember you not
I
playing
know
against
you
this.
were talking about playing against a player I played.
Yeah, I believe
So,
it's not this
I
one.
believe you played...
I believe I played something else. Play against someone
I
else.
do believe it was my round 3 opponent.
Yeah, and it was like, cool. Enter charge a servant, pay with that servant for blue. It's like, do that random drain. Always start off with that random drain.
Turn 1 random drain is so detrimental to,
Yeah.
to everyone, because it basically says your opponent not only removes a card from their opening hand, but they basically start the game.
Yeah, it's like how.
One, even if they went like
Yeah.
they got like it's the benefit of going second, and then you fuck them over
Yeah.
because they lose their benefit for going second.
Yep.
Which
And right
is
here is like
retarded.
perfect setup. We have a value. We have a 5k body. And I was like, perfect setup.
Only thing that beats it is 2 Janyu. Let's be real.
I wouldn't even do
Worst
2 on you.
situation.
Like a super ideal situation would be that, but if I'm playing against card jockey. Because card jockey is like their only removal comes in their creatures, and then like their 2 to 4 copies of red burn spells. So it's really hard to pick that up, especially on turn 1.
Makes sense.
So I was like, okay, the 1 on you, perfectly fine. It has done its job. It closes off like a aggressive lane. I will not take 3. I will only take 2.
Because I remember you guys immediately both ran into this, and I'm like, oh fuck, so how do I play against this deck?
Yeah, so Love It is a very unique style of like control because it's enter hate. And in this meta, enter colors are really important. They're really important in this meta. So surprisingly,
It can't. Oh yeah, because Lovett can actually just eat whatever the fuck she wants.
Rabbit can eat whatever color she wants, but at the same time, it's like if you eat an off color that you need, Demir needs green. Uh, Demir needs green. Kome needs white, or even then, but like as a splash color, you just be like it needs white. The couple needs green, and then even Ray needs blue. Lots of like color intense pips.
Yeah, playing against that deck was fucking painful.
Yeah, because Rose Quartz needs double red. Nobunaga needs like double red, and even a third red to like pop to blow something up. So it's very like the format when we were going into it. It's probably like the most color intense.
Yeah.
So right here is a Durfing Inferno. I believe I go for the end of the turn here. Because I am trying to secure as little damage as I can on this early play. Because right here he has only 2 Haniels. So and he placed them, I believe, in different columns. So he did the underswing, and then did the Haniel, and then it's flip up. This is Zayu. Lots of Zayus go into my enter. And then I take this one.
That's where it belongs at some point in the game.
Yep, trigger servant.
For,
servant grabs my servant because I paid the servant.
That's perfectly fine there.
That's like ideally perfect. It was like if I charge away the enter, if I prick the servant, I will grab that servant. And I was like, yep, very clean. Charge the Zayu, did its job. And grow into that. I believe I pay off a Zayu. The one of 3 Zayu in my enter. Here we are. And then from here, I believe I play Ishikimaru. Correct. And then I play Rocket Girl. Did this work first. Look at the top card. Put it on the top or bottom. I believe I put it on the bottom. Then you pay 1. Pay with the green because I didn't have a Demir in hand. And then adding another servant. So right now I have 2 servants in hand. So right now I'm like in the most like comfortable position right here. Having like 2 servants consistently in my hand right now is like really good, especially going into level 3 next turn. And then do more random drains. Do the dice rolling magic. Doing 2. And I was like, cool. Hits the Nobunaga, which is really important. If that Nobunaga was in his hand, I definitely would be dying.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
Yeah, because
Where's his enter zone? It's like so non-existent. Right?
He has 0 enter in his enter. Because he did double Hanyo. And then played the Deafening Inferno. So he used all his enter right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so right now I just go into combat. Clear that up. Clear that up. I believe I attack with Trump Air because he is on levels 1, so he will go up a level. I believe he did it's the new chick. I think it's the one that this one's the banish a 10k or less, and then I attack with that. He does the PG, did the things, pass the turn. Always like that little wrist roll, and I believe I have 6 cards in hand. Oh no, 7. And then I discard. No. Yeah, 7. But right now it's like probably like this is how ideally I play my turns out. I'll be like, cool. Play Ishikimaru, play a Searcher, sculpt the decks a bit, do the top deck shenanigans. Because I know by color theory he'll always have the red to grow into level 2. And I was like, cool. He has it. Because there's no point of like doing the things for it. This one is look at the top. I believe it's top 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top 5, and you choose one that shares your color, one that doesn't share your color. So he grabs the Lancelot and the Haniel, and I was like, yep. And those are like probably the 2 like smoothest picks that he grabbed. And I was like, yep, he has like a filter, he has a removal. It's very good. Doesn't kill Rocket Girl. Rocket Girl is 7k.
pretty good.
It's just a bigger Haniel.
Yeah, I know, but it's surprising he hasn't killed it yet.
Well, the thing is that like it's at this point at like level 2, it's really hard to kill without like the use of vanillas or like matching powers, and the deck rarely plays any to begin with. Because you compensate like powerful units for like more filtering, and you rely on your like level 3 plays.
Makes sense.
And then he grabs the Gawain, plays the Gawain. And I was like, yep, he clears my board. And I was like, pretty good. Yep. And then I realized it'd be like, I should stop following my hand in my hand. So I just intentionally like put it on top. And I was like, yep. And then I believe I down the Lancelot. Pay that. Draw 2. Because if I did the Lancelot, if I triggered Royal Blue, I freeze a blue instead of like anything that matters. Because if I freeze a white, he'll charge the blue. No. I believe I charged the. I did wrong things. It's hard. I'm trying to remember why I did that. I was like, I really should have done the white. Because if I trigger Royal Blue, I freeze the white. I dropped a card on accident.
Well, that technically is a illegal game state.
Yeah. Because I dropped a card and I'm like, crap, I'm so sorry.
Your setup. If that happens, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, the sad thing is like, you know the setup I use for remote fights? Like, that would have been fine. It's in the thing, right? Like...
Yeah, because you're playing because you're playing on a longer surface.
Yeah, mine was just been weirdly angled.
Yeah.
But I like my setup better. I like the setup I figured out. It was just really weird because it was on top of my actual... My monitor was on top of my computer, and it just, like, freaked me out at all points in time.
Yeah.
That, like, it would just randomly fall over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't do... Like, I could have done that as well, but my... Ooh. Sorry there, folks. I think having Discord things is Discord things. Thanks, Discord. It's like... Oh! I think my internet... I think my internet did weird things again. I think...
Oh, it was your internet and not actually...
Because I believe it was a 4.0... Instead of 4.04, and I was like, oh, jeez. Do this real quick. Round 2. Yes. Oop. Sorry there. Boop, boop. Shoop. I believe this is good. Okay, we're good. Alright. Play the Fenrir Froze 2 things. Play the annual. I believe I grab a PG here. I'll back it up real quick. Yep. Top 3. Have a Demier. Grab a third PG. Or a second PG. We'll grab a third one. So I am prepared for any, like, shenanigans.
Holy shit, this is the actual deck.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm taking it myself real quick because I just, like, to look at something real quick.
Yep. And then giving the Lancer to Demier. If I put the solo skill onto it to indicate it's from solo, I did pay the 1 for it. It'll share that. Next, I will just go to Lancer.
How many mirrors did you play? Is the real question.
I can give you a number.
We're gonna be
1, 2, 3, 4. I played 5 card jockeys.
What the fuck happened, Bob? Are you okay?
I was climbing up the lower bracket, bro. Because I'm pretty sure card jockeys probably head to a whole bunch of Hiranas.
Oh my god.
So it was probably me fighting against it, and I was like card jockey's not the worst option, but I can deal with it because I can play around it. Because my deck is slightly different, tailored to them.
Were those fireworks?
Fireworks. I didn't hear any fireworks.
Please be fireworks. I've already had gun problems. I've already...
Oh, from your end? I was like,
yeah.
oh, please.
I've already been listening to gunshots all day.
I believe they're fireworks. I imagine fireworks would happen. Yeah.
You would think.
You would think. Yeah, so right here he goes with the reverb. I was like, yep, pretty cool. I did give the Lancer to Haniel because I was in the same column as Haniel. So it'd be like, it's murder. And be like, this is cool. And then punching. I believe I do. Yep. Into the draw. And then does the surfing.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Oh, I remember. Because he grew into, I believe that's a disrespect.
That is disrespect.
Yeah, disrespect says, you tap down a dude. So it tapped down my Lancer. And I was like, oh, there we go. I was like, this makes more sense.
You did force a reaction.
I
there.
did force a reaction.
You traditionally shouldn't have to force.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, I can tempo this. I'm like, nope, I have to deal with this now. I was like, yup. And then,
No, that's fine because you forced the problem.
Yeah.
Immediately, you have no cards in the end.
yep.
You do still have a very problematic area about though.
Yeah, if he does drop PRJ. I was like, but
Yeah,
most
PRJ actually does way too much there.
PRJs are good, but PRJs don't get played in non-lion decks because it is a white heavy card.
Nope, I can tell you no. Mine.
Oh, yours ran PRJ? Mine didn't.
Yeah.
I did not see anyone had PRJs on me. So, yeah. And I was like, cool. And then the cool thing was having that Fenrir in that center lane. So it was like, cool. So Fenrir is doing its thing. I didn't care about Demir because if you get rid, because the thing is that like if you get rid of Demir, it doesn't hurt me as much because I only play 2. Also, is that if you kill the Demir, it doesn't hurt in the long run because your Ether can just go into something else. It does hurt you when you kill colors. So if Fenrir were to die and then he couldn't get over to he can underswing with Demir, and then that way he can like keep me off colors on board, and that's like one of the bigger weaknesses in like the Nova decks, is that if you keep them off color on board, it hurts them way more. So yep. Does that? And I was like, he has to come in a full board. Rice into the Nobunaga, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, cool. Can't pop my Fenrir.
But it gains double crush on the side, which is the actual problem in this situation.
Ah, you would think. It's like,
The fuck did you do in this situation? Oh wait, no, he only has. Well, he has 2 red.
he has 2 red. Double crush is very strong, but at the same time, unlike Lion, which can close down damage, non-Lion decks has to play a little bit more of a different game. And especially since I'm on 4 Life Cloth. 4 Life Cloth is like the most optimal Life Cloth. Also, it forces him to grow on all his pushes, because on that, so he can't triple swing here.
Huh.
I believe is playing a thing. Don't remember what it was. Oh, he was like, hey, can I take back of this unit? I want to go through my Elric deck. And I was like, yep, that's fine. Because at this point, it was like, this is kind of recoverable. Because it was like, yeah, like, remember Solo's effect is active. So it was like, you can throw a thing in there, but it would be pointless. So just, I believe this was a once per game action. Versus that, eats my enter. And then...
It's not. It is a once per turn function. Or it's just a tap down to do it.
Yeah, it's a tap down. But he does the once per game action to restand it.
Yep.
I was then asking him, be like, has to be different color. I'm like, nope, it's any color. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
Yep. Because he was doing that anyways. And then he does punchline, and I was like, yep, correct. And I believe he still fills a board. Oh, nope, he didn't. And then be like, cool. I was like, and then double crush. And then check 1, Akafuku. And I was like, yep. And then charge 1. Can't take damage from level 3 or less Signies. Still, double crush will still go through though. And then check on that is a Hanyo. I was like, yep.
Well, yeah, because double crush is dissolving because it's already damaged.
Is always damaging.
However, okay, so that's how you get out of that. You tell your opponent, lol.
Yeah, but like your Arcwing attack doesn't matter. And then it'll be like Kome, and then it'll be like start dominant, so I won't even like harm it yet. Because I called it without placing on the Arcwing column. So I was like, cool. And then Arcwing swings in, don't take the damage. So I was like, cool. And then we like shuffle. Yeah, because I knew there was one Akufuku left in my life cloth at the time. Yep. And then I believe he just did the thing of tell me when to stop. And then I said stop, but he couldn't like hear it. And then I tried one more time and like stop. Goes on top. And then he flips. It is for 3 attacks. And then like 3 attacks, let's go. And it was like, alright, first attack, servant. Second attack. Second attack, servant. And then he goes third attack. And then servant. And I'm like, yep. I was like, darn.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it was very noticeable. And I was like, yeah, force the answer. Like, yep. And I was like, it makes no difference on me because I can always recur 1 and I can always tempo off from there. And then I charged the Fenrir, and I was like, Fenrir has done his job. Because I kind of needed space for board. And I was like, yep, play the Demir. Play it in a column that can punch through things. And then playing the blue-white. Because I need the size clear up. And then, yeah, multicolor Ether is like, I'd rather have the board set up for that. 3 cards in hand. I believe it's that. Damage to skill. Paid this. And a blue. Give the Lancer to Kome. Still have 2 error for the Kome. And then it's like swing. And then I did a misplay because I was like, oh, this is 13k. And then like, I'm an idiot. It's like, and I was like, well, get rid of the Arcwing. It's like, yep. Because I think in the first game I was always like already like nerve-wracked and be like, fuck. And then I go on like a club uphill battle. So I was like, yep, here we are. It sucks. So I was already in like the climbing uphill mentality and didn't like look properly. And that was like a misplay on my end. But I still would have targeted on like Kome. If I would. If not, then I shouldn't have paid the enter. I was like, it's a misplay on my end. Humpai first. No, I did... Yeah, I did Humpai first. 3 rolls. The one he keeps is the number, I believe it was the number that he was going to keep. 1. So one he kept, discard the rest. Yep. Then doing that, draw the 1. And then I took out that servant, so he's guaranteeing taking that 1 damage. And it was like multicolor. Cool. And then I will pass the turn. Yeah. Ideally, I wanted like a little bit longer of a table. I was using the longer table for my laptop at the time. I could have used it like differently. So I could have switched it around a bit. It would dipped more on the front end but keep my sides, but I also wanted like the front end to like not dip as well. So I wanted like height rather than width. Because I was like, I can condense enough down for like width. And then he's doing some more good digs, and I was like, yep. I was like, he can't kill me because he'll just attack over my boards. There's no way he can get rid of it because Nobunaga is in the same lane as Kome. And I was like, there's no way he can kill my 12k.
Yep.
Whoop.
It's just
That is me disconnecting on camera. I was like, God damn. I was like, yep, disconnected on this. And I was like, oh, yep, that's a disconnect on my end. So that's why I'm like half sketch as fuck. That's why, like, if I were to do bro, I was like, I would be the most sketchiest player ever. I was like, God damn. It does make good recording, but
okay, cool. I thought my computer crashed for a hot second.
nope. It's like that was just my computer crashing. I was like,
No, my computer almost crashed for a second.
oh, did it? Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm. Hello?
Oh, you're good.
Yeah,
I was
my
also.
computer's also breaking.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I mean, it's been 3.5 hours and we're only like game 2. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
This
Holy
this might be a very long stream. I think our tangent got pretty long, and I was like, I wanted to wrap this up because I know my games always take very long.
Yep.
And then be like, yep. But I think in this matchup, I knew it was going to be a little bit more longer because of love it. Love it grinds it down a little bit more now, so it goes into like a control matchup.
Yep.
So I was like, yep, here we are. Then it goes empty swing. This hits over you, Kome. I was like, cool. This attacks. He pays the 1 enter to bash a AK or less. When I take 1. It is a Kome. And he swings with Rabbit, or Love It, and then I PG here.
But realistically, deep. Yeah, no.
Yeah. And I believe from here I am looking for colors. So I'm deciding which one to do. I did not charge. Wait, Kishima. He has 1 life cloth.
Yeah, 1 card in hand.
Yep. 1 card in hand. I did freeze the Nobu. Until she placed the finger in front of the Nobu, because it won't die. Second freeze will be like, whatever. Yeah. And then once per turn clear. I did the once per turn clear because I was like, what's the power of your like middle column? It was like 500. And I was like, okay, so it doesn't matter which one I do. Do this just to secure a 4th PG.
I would not have put it over your hand. That looks blatantly bad after you
It-
disconnected.
It definitely does. That's why, like, it's a terrible habit I have. And I was like, yeah, my habits are like terrible on camera. It's like it's a habit I have to fix up when I have to play in like digital.
I also hate to say this, but we might have to go over the rest of the games on a later day.
Yeah.
Drain.
Yeah. Because I was about to say, it's like it's pretty long. I will probably post it. I think I will. I think I want to do. What was the? I want to do the game with. Oh, sorry for that. Can I play one of you guys? Okay. It is Tyler asking for things. We might like
Wait,
just.
Tyler's here still?
Tyler just like probably just got back home.
Oh god, it's been that long.
Yeah, I know. We started at like 6.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I knew it was for sure and be like, it's not going to go towards 11. And I was like, oh, it's almost 10. And I was like, that small tangent is very long.
No, I expected it to take this long.
I expected it to
I
be...
have more energy.
No. Watching, like, even 3 games, I was, like, half the time yawning and be like, ugh.
Like, I'm starting to get there.
Yeah.
There's still things I need to, like, go over with you. Oh,
Yeah, because I think I want to do one more game on stream, and we'll probably end it there. And then the rest of the content is on YouTube. So you can guys watch that on YouTube.
Go over other stuff.
Yep.
Cool.
So it'll be there. Probably after one more game if you're still down for one more game.
I'll make it.
Okay.
I'll make myself.
Because I don't know if you want to watch a particularly spicy game or if you want to watch a good game. Oh, we'll watch the game where I lost. Because winning is not good content. Losing is good content.
Where you get that from?
It's content. I've done it enough times on YouTube. I think it's like when you create like very close games, it's always entertaining more than like an over dominating like game. Because I think like the most views I've had was on like really close games, rather than like one side's dominating. But that was just between me and Josh playing through.
Makes sense.
Yeah. We'll do it as a special thank you for the streams. But yeah, still 99 people. But one ain't here. Hit me! But yep. Or, no, the game that lasts a little longer. We might end it after this game. I think it's still another 5 minutes.
Sounds alright.
Yep, and then right here is like, go to the top. And like, go! I don't care at this point. Because I definitely did not have any more green left to do any green shenanigans. Yep. And then right here was just me like readjusting like images. Or because it was me trying to click back onto Discord to click back onto something else. So I guess who? I was like, I have the power to film. I can just let Tyler know via the Discord on the phone.
Yeah, jump on our Discord.
Yeah.
Or your Discord, my bad.
Yeah.
Or unless we want to switch over to mine.
Either way is fine. Whatever you want.
Up to you.
We can do mine. Sure. I'll jump to our. Yep. And then playing some more things. Oh, did it pause? Nope. Ooh, wow, that's rare. It's rare. I was about to say, it's like, did it fracture? And I was like, oh, wow. That's super rare. That means that, like, my computer was just going on, like, a while. Hello.
Hi, I'm just here for a bit. I'll be playing Elden Ring with the BF here as soon as my Xbox is done updating.
Is it even worth playing a game at that point?
I mean, like, when I first sent the message, it had, like, 5-10 minutes, which would have been like, okay, we're halfway through the game, finish the game. Okay, now I'm going to Elden Ring. Well, let's see if there's any actual game updates that I need to install first.
Yeah.
For the game.
For the games. Also, well, on the last bit of the stream, but you're A-okay. If not, we can always just chat. We'll probably end the stream pretty soon, so just do that last thing.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just the weekend of it.
Have you guys thought about joining the Take a Chance content creator?
50-50 on that.
They are 10 players short of hitting their 64 player mark where they expand the prize pooling.
I saw it and I was like, what would I get out of this? $500 of Play Store credit? And I was like,
Oh no,
What store credit?
or in-store credit.
You actually,
Or in-store credit or like in like good and like goods.
Oh no, like they actually said you have the option to either do it via card game merch or actual hard cash. And I'm like, ooh, that's some money. I want money, but like
Yeah.
if they don't hit that mark, it's whatever. I'm still partaking. I want at least the clout.
The clout, but you have clout.
Clout.
You have clout now on the internet.
I want more clout.
More clout.
I'm a clout hoarder.
Yeah, right here. Just be like, all right, punch everything.
Oh, it needs an update. Alright, hold on.
More
Let's
of
see
a
how
thing.
big this update is. It turned out that there wasn't update that Elden Ring needed.
Yep.
I don't give a shit about Mech Warrior right now. That can wait.
Yep. And I believe he has the
Let's
PG.
see.
And I was like, all right, I have the long game now.
I am the long game.
I was like, one card left,
You
and be like,
wanna
cool.
run my-
Yeah, so the thing is, I was like, yeah, the game's gets really long, and I was like, all right, in a traditional deck, in traditional Nova, I would lose, but I'm not traditional Nova. I was like,
Okay, so I will. Alright. It says it needs an hour.
oh jeez,
Fortunately, it's Friday, so
yeah,
I don't think it's actually gonna take a full last hour.
I don't think it will.
I think it'll maybe take 30 minutes. So I do have enough time for a game. Yeah, it already dropped by 4 minutes.
Yeah,
All right. I will set up my stuff. I'll let the BF know that I am downloading the update.
Yeah.
Oh, I basically made my Elden Ring character try to look like Fromage as much as possible. I mean, come on.
Alright, Tyler, so I'm going to run a card fight deck into you in premium in card fight area. Do you accept?
Maybe tomorrow.
Nah, it has to be tonight.
It has to be tonight.
We can delay it for a game.
I mean, like, you know, I can always just put Batoru people later, so I can, sure. I'll boot up CFA.
Because it'll be
I don't
fine.
have to. Yeah, actually, it is actually fine because I will actually get to not leave my seat and keep watching the download.
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Yep.
Let me just make sure that my deck
Yeah.
is updated.
and then the game was there, and be like, yep, I don't have any more servants in my hand. I'm like, yep,
It's
that's
not,
cool.
there's no specific regulations, so it
Yeah.
is premium though, of course, by obvious means.
By all this means.
No, yeah, of course.
All right.
I mean, like, I just want to make sure that, like, I'm off of jank and just... Because as funny as Pearl Sisters are with the new Roan, just buying the old one, buying the new one, and just go ham and be funny.
That's
Yeah,
actually fucking disgusting. Holy shit, Tyler.
yeah, but yeah,
Like, no, that's actually a really good idea. What the actual fuck?
yeah,
You only need one, and then you just
just
fucking force
turn.
tutor the other copy.
yep,
Yep, no odd hit can stop me now.
yeah,
What the fuck? This is actually disgusting.
yeah.
Tyler, stop.
All right.
This is actually good.
All right. Besides from that, we are going to end the stream. The game ended with me grinding him out because like I have no PGs and be like I will always have a PG. It's like, and then early punching would be like no one expects early punching from Nova. It does happen like that a lot of the games.
The Gorilla Nova.
The Gorilla Nova and be like, you can grind, I can. I have
We
hands.
will finish the rest of these up at a later date. We will decide
Yeah.
when. We didn't. I mean, we should have expected it, but also,
Yeah.
Bob's computer cannot handle streaming for 4 hours.
It can definitely more or less the Discord will not handle it.
Disconnected. Yeah, you already have disconnected.
Yeah,
So it's not even.
but yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
that's a fate.
my
It's
laptop.
a
Here we are.
miracle you've lasted this long. Dude, let's be honest here.
I've done like 5-hour streams. Remember, I've done this before. It's better like IRL because my thing doesn't eat for like Discord because my apparently Discord's weird with my computer. But besides from that, thank you all for watching. These games will be on the YouTubes with all the audio, so you can hear me talk very nicely and do some voice speaking. You can find me over at the Twitches, at HDrive for the YouTubes, HDrive0 for the Twitch, HDrive for the YouTubes. Twitter is also there as well. You can also find Ryan there as a friend if you want to follow him. Congratulations on 13th place. Give him a high five. And thank you very much, guys. You all have a good night. Welcome. Goodbye. Bye-bye.